All right, here's the Carvel clip. It was on Hannity. He was on Hannity.
Push the goddamn button! Push the goddamn button! You heard what she said.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
That is a good thumbnail.
He's the best, man. My noise gate is doing nothing.
My mic is probably
Boop, boop,
crazy.
boop, 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 boop.
Graham was like, I can't hear you. I'm like, my mic is turned all the way up.
Boop, boop, boop. Just gonna turn it off.
Hey, Mikey, can you wait like 1 minute?
Yeah.
All right. I just gotta call Amanda real quick. She wants me to call her.
What are you gonna call her?
I don't know. It depends on what the phone call's about.
Beautiful, smart,
Something.
hot. Look at the trees. White. White. I didn't know how to spell that. Can I change it? Oh, here we go. This will do it. Okay, refresh your page. I just changed it. Welcome. Man, these are all out of order.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Got some tasty jazz. Tasty jazz for you this morning. Scott, take your air horn. I'm just giving Tim one more minute here. We'll be ready to go. Oh, I gotta show off my cool shirt. I found my cool shirt. It was in my dirty clothes. Had to pay my bribe money to the pets, or else they won't leave me alone. All 60 of them. We have 6. No, I'm just kidding. We have 3. 3 crumb snatchers. Oh, 2 new people. The Rusted Dynamo and David Stothard. Thanks for subbing yesterday after you saw Tim on Politics Social. Thank you. I got a new one here. What's
So,
yeah, we got a lot of stuff to go through.
Ladies and gentlemen,
All right,
we
Tim.
got him.
All right, I got to put it on that thing. You know, the thing. The thing for the chat. The thing. The thing that does the stuff. Please don't play the video. Please don't play the video. You're gonna play the... Okay, it's muted at least. Alright, stream settings. Damn, I always forget where it is. He told me too. Oh, there it is. I found it. There it is. There it is. There it is. There we go. Oh, the blurb. I must have the blurb. Sticky notes. There it is. Oh, shoot. Found it. And if you're a YouTuber out there and you need some music, holler at your boy. I'm taking commissions. Get you some tasty music made by a person, not a robot. But whether or not I, in fact, am a robot is debatable. My mom says I was born at the hospital, but perhaps she's part of the deep state. Alright, I'm going for it. It's not frozen. Hello, the bin... Oh, wait. This Bin Podcast Network production is brought to you by our patrons, whose continued support keeps the lights on. So thank you, Ollie, Dutch, Leclerc Vert, and as always, tons of mice. We love you forever. What's up, guys? How are you? Good morning. How you doing? Did you get some rest? Are you drinking water? Are you are you taking mental health breaks from this news? I hope you are. I had to take
I'm
one.
not.
Tim didn't. Who am I here with? I'm here with Tim. Yay!
I'm here.
including Scorpio Patriot.
That's you. You're Scorpio Patriot.
I'm a Scorpio Patriot.
Banter? No time for banter today, Tim. We got an uprising. A groundswell, some would call it, among the Quats. I changed the title. Do you see what the title's called now? Actually, it's Kevin's fault, not my fault. Look at the trees made me do it, not me. It's not me.
That's
I didn't.
funny.
One lunch breaks for the next 15 minutes. 15 minutes? Okay. We're going to get through this then. Let's go. Senator Glenn Grothman held a town hall. Let's see what it has to say.
Afghanistan just hours ago.
Yeah, at about the same time, Congressman Glenn Grothman was meeting with constituents about the process of welcoming refugees.
Okay, this is just an obvious bait and switch, so I'm just going to scoot up 20 seconds.
From Afghanistan. The congressman says he felt his constituents are.
Wow, look at that crowd, Tim.
Look at them all.
Tell me what you see there.
Just monochromatic is what they are.
Hey, that lady dyed her hair. 2 of them did. But it's the blue hair gang and the retired gang.
What state is this?
Didn't know there was gonna be a quiz. Where is this?
Glenn Grossman.
Well, I got his next one. This is what his town hall looked like 3 years ago or 4 years ago when they were talking about leaving Afghanistan. This is not that.
I think
Wisconsin.
There's Congress.
Oh, he's in Green Bay.
Overall reaction to both crowds today. Well, we've had similar.
Look at that red
crowds to
face.
what we had
That's a
on
red face of
Monday.
a nervous man.
I think there's certain media outlets that are really riling people up with regard to Elon Musk in particular. I think it's a good idea to get a fresh face.
All right, first of all, your tie is tied like an absolute maroon. You double Windsored and you didn't even leave yourself enough tie for it to get to your belt line. Get it together. Or get a longer tie if you got a longer belly than most people.
Based on government. I think Washington's frequently referred to as a swamp, and it's good to have somebody there who's draining the swamp. Usually every 2 years we add some more new programs, and as the result right now, we're borrowing 26% of our federal budget. It'll be good to have 2 years or 4 years in a row here in which we reduce government a little and admit that some of the programs we've had in the past weren't a good idea.
Which programs?
Well,
Which programs?
all the programs, man.
Video.
What are they all yelling about today?
They're so angry.
Fielded questions in the pack shop this morning at a
This is in
2-hour
Missouri.
town hall. He represents 770,000 people in 24 counties in this district, mostly rural and conservative. About 150 of them showed up today, some wanting to hear his responses about trimming the federal
needed a bigger
workforce.
room.
Some who have been laid off in the cuts were there, and many couldn't even get in and lined the sidewalk. People we spoke with
Uh-oh. They don't sound happy.
said they had a hard time
upset.
getting any answers through all the shouting.
Government employees are going to be let go, and that's just the reality of it. And I feel bad that people have been
No, he
laid off.
doesn't.
I truly do.
It's a little frustrating not to be able to hear what he's got to say and his ideas, and be able to say, hey, this is.
Oh, look at him trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Oh, dumb. You're so dumb.
This is something that you may need to look at one way or another.
Representative Alford did mention that his wife was one of those laid off from the Federal Reserve. We also spoke with a woman who was laid.
Bro, you let Elon fire your wife, brother?
Yeah, right.
Not your wife. I would have drew the line at my wife. But hey, you want a fucking free ticket back to South Africa? You better tighten it up. Tighten it up, mother sucker.
Laid off last week from the USDA. She said she came here for answers but left frustrated. That's what many people we talked to.
I wonder what they're all so frustrated about.
I don't know why they're so angry.
Huh. Well, here's a town hall full of people of color, mostly beige. And looks like they're here to talk to their congressperson, but there's no one here, so they just booed the stage. Oh, I get it. This is a woke meeting. All the wokes are showing up because only the wokes.
All the wokes showed up.
All of the DEI wokes would be in here. Ooh, her sign back there said Musk or us.
Yeah, wow.
I like it. That's a good sign. That's a solid sign. Solid 8 on the sign. What is that? Who is that? Whose face is that?
I don't know.
What the heck?
This dude's having his town meeting in like a church.
Yeah. He should feel safe in the church to come talk to these people. These look like nice people. Man, nothing makes me sweat more than a room full of old white people. Whew. You just
yeah.
You just know. My inner Harriet is like, not in there. Still can't figure out what everybody's mad about. What's this one?
Sheriff Norris, this gentleman is assaulting me. This man is assaulting me.
Where'd all the audio go?
Yeah, where'd all the audio? What happened?
This clip sucks. Did they... Zero, get your ball out of here.
Zero's the audio.
There you go, yeah. There you go. Zip tire. Oh, that must be a January 6er. Okay. He must be one of them Proud Boys. Well, Baptist Church Boys or whatever. CME Church Boys. I don't know. It couldn't be me, y'all. I couldn't just let a little white girl get zip tied by some dudes in black in front of everybody. I mean, it's 3 of them. It's about 600 of y'all, so I'm just saying. Wouldn't have been me.
Are they police? Are they security? Or are they just dudes?
Who knows? Look at him waving bye-bye. Look at this dude. Look at this winner. I think she must have, talked during the meeting.
That looks pretty unlawful. What they're doing to that lady.
I mean, why not? Why can't she do it? Oh, here we go.
Elon Musk has contracts with the federal government. But he is also, I think, doing an effective job.
Conflict of interest. Show me.
There are a lot of people who don't want to see waste, abuse, and fraud weeded out. Some of them here today.
I don't want him in charge of it.
But he is always fraud and abuse. Chief executive who can appoint whoever he can appoint you.
I thought it was your job. It is your job.
I thought it was your job. It seems like all of these town hall meetings are all focused around the doggy collective or whatever it's called. Like they just
The doggy collective.
the incels with keyboards. You know, since 2014 when Black Lives Matter started getting online, man, they've been talking about keyboard warrior, keyboard warrior, keyboard warrior. Y'all let some nerds come in with some keyboards and take all the money. All the money? I don't know.
All the money.
Couldn't be me. Not the treasury, though. Y'all didn't let them into the treasury with a server. That would be crazy.
And the president have agreed that if there is any potential conflict of interest,
Tim, if there's any conflicts of interest, Elon said he would recuse himself.
Self-determination of conflict of interest is itself a conflict of interest.
He'll know when he's not supposed to be there.
He'll tell us.
He will put it on the website, which is just a Twitter feed that just repopulates over to a website.
and it's clear today that some people don't believe that would happen.
It is your job.
In the next election, to elect someone that you believe.
We didn't elect Elon.
She's got a point.
She's got a point. Nobody elected Elon.
She's got a point.
Remember.
He said, I need some water. This is hot in this room. Y'all feel that? It's hot. These lights. It's real warm in here.
Can't take the heat.
It's real strong rays coming out of this light bulb above me. I'm burning up.
You don't represent us. You represent Elon Musk. You're a violation of your oath, sir.
That was Representative.
Ooh.
You're in violation of your oath, sir.
Oh, this one was from the phone town hall they had.
Tell me that Doge, with some college whiz kids from a computer terminal in Washington, D.C., without even getting out into the field, after about a week or maybe two, has determined that it's okay to cut veterans' benefits.
I think a couple things. Let me give you an example. Did you know that the VA was in charge of payments for illegals for housing? Basically, the VA.
No, I'd like for you to send me.
He ain't going. Nah, it didn't sound like an answer, lady. Nah.
Could you send me that reference so I could research that? Because no, I'm not aware of that. And I would tell you that that's a red herring, a false flag. If you're throwing that kind of political stuff up, trying to cut veterans' benefits, that's very alarming to me.
Yeah, man, veterans don't fuck around.
No. Especially since, like, as far as entitlements go, you can't really earn an entitlement more than being a friggin' vet. Going out and fighting for your country or whatever they want to call it. Doing it for 20 years. And then be like, hey, my knee's bad. Both knees are bad from jump school. And they're just like, you know what? Maybe you should pay for your new knees. Maybe you should pay for that.
I also wouldn't want to piss off all the people that you trained in war by cutting all of their benefits.
Can you imagine, like, all the fucking, like, people coming back from Vietnam? And it's like, you guys are on your own. They're like, all right, assemble the squad.
Yeah, right.
The politicians are in the trees. Because them dudes could just smear dirt on themselves and just be gone for 6 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, you just never find them again. They'll find you. You won't find them. Oh, well.
When will you stand up to them and say that is enough?
And sorry we have to pillage from other people. Thank you, Brian Tyler Cohen. But, dude, it is impossible to search this shit now because it is everywhere. Like, there's thousands and thousands of videos now, so we can't even find original clips anymore.
Yeah, there's so much secondary content about it that
You
it's
are
hard
quiet,
to find
Tim.
I am quiet?
Yeah, something's off.
How about now?
No, you're using the wrong mic. Noob.
I don't think so.
Noob. Yes, you are. Because you didn't get louder at all.
How about now?
Nope. How about now? Farther away.
All right, well then this is the correct mic, and I don't know why it's quiet.
Are you quiet in Skype?
Oh, maybe I'm quiet in Skype.
La la la. Here, let's say hello to the chat.
I should be good now.
No, you're the same. The same. Because I'm like real loud on my side. Look at the trees. Oh, wrong one. Take your air horn. Lyle, take your air horn. Billy. Diz. That's it so far. And Scott. I said Scott earlier, but he can have another one.
The end result of the fraud and abuse that has been discovered already.
They're not buying it. Try another one. It's not going, dude.
Absolutely no proof.
President Trump has issued a lot of executive orders.
Oh, there's homie right there. There's what's his name? Grothman. Here's Grothman.
I think by and large this is moving very quickly compared to other administrations, and I think across the board he's done some very good things. I think
and the boo birds are flying down at the town.
What? I like how one dude is holding up like a red plate to show his disdain. I have a red plate.
They got red markers. See there? Like the front is green, the other's red, or whatever, and then.
Is that how a group of old people communicate with like?
I like how this lady has the agree face in the back, but you can kind of see the outline of the disagree on the front. And then they booed anyway. Here, that's what we should do. You should get like a little, those little fans you get like when you're at the zoo and you're like, moob sweat is like killing you, and then you get like the little guy under there. Like you should have those and just have a red fan and a green fan. And just blow his ass off the stage.
He's gotten rid of birthright citizenship.
Okay. No, he didn't. He did not get rid of birthright citizenship because that's unconstitutional, and you're dumb for not knowing that didn't go through.
And like 3 judges at this point have said no.
Like, no, you can't just tell people because you're born here you're not an American. You got to go through Congress, and then you got to go through the states. And if you think the states are going to let you remove birthright citizenship from pretty much everybody at that point, because at that point, no one's a citizen unless you, I guess, kiss the ring or lick the feet, right? Because then they could just take it from anybody. Because being born here doesn't mean shit. Having a job here, raising a family doesn't mean anything. As long as I say you're a citizen, you're a citizen.
They're so angry.
I love it.
Illegal as hell.
I love her.
He's gotten rid of birthright citizenship.
Illegal as hell.
But what is going on right now today?
Ooh, hand on the hip, and she got on 2 hoodies. You know you in trouble. Hand on the hip and 2 hoodies, you cooked, brother.
Illegal as hell.
But what is going on right now today is the House of Representatives and the Senate are totally abdicating their responsibility.
Get that woke-ass DEI lady the hell out of this goddamn town hall. Look at that blue jacket. She clearly voted left. Clearly.
You stand here and say, I'm not sure about that, or I'm not sure about that. You put up, frankly, some of these slides are very misleading. Let's talk about the Trump tax cut. How much of that deficit in that jump from 22 up was the tax cuts to the incredibly rich people of the world who are now in our White House and dismantling our government? You are an attorney. You are an officer of the court, in addition to swearing an oath to our Constitution, and yet, well, you and so many of your colleagues are just sitting around watching. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens next month. Oh, those workers.
Tim, what's the logo on your hat?
It's from a distillery, Teeling Distillery.
What are you talking about, Lyle?
It's a phoenix.
What are you talking about,
It's a
Lyle?
phoenix. There's a phoenix on my hat.
Tim Bellum, take your air horns.
Have rights, and yes, they've been violated, so now they're getting processed. Our courts can't handle this. These people have planned this for years, and they are doing it. It is a fire hose of action, illegal actions that even you acknowledge right here, but we'll just worry and let the courts sort it out. There won't be a country left to run, sir, if you guys just sit back and are afraid of a primary.
And as you can see,
well, I got bad news for all them. I think they're getting primaried anyway. It's almost like, you know, being afraid of Elon is not as bad as being afraid of all of us.
Lord, accurate.
So accurate.
What? But Michael.
Yes.
What are what would you have?
Shout out to Michael Steele. This dude, like, he's a former head of the RNC, I believe.
Yeah, he was. He ran the RNC during the McCain campaign, I believe.
Yeah. He's like a Bush-McCain era dude. These are the Republicans that I grew up with, right? And I'm like, oh, these are Republicans, and then you got Barack Obama's on the other side. Boy, was that a snapshot in history that was never to be repeated again. I just thought that was normal. Wrong. Lyle, just say what you're trying to say, brother. No one's going to ban you. I just don't know what you're talking about.
He's saying that the image on my hat is a Nazi symbol. That's what he's trying to say.
No, dude, they don't own phoenixes. No.
Look it up. It's an Irish distillery. It's called Teeling Whiskey. That's where I got the hat.
Do you want me to go? Here, hold on. Jesus. Let me do this. How do you spell Teeling? T shit.
Oh, jeez. I'm not that good
at
it.
Hey, haha. No, I don't want the fucking weather in Teeling, China. What the hell? Click, damn you.
Oh, I have to agree that I'm over the age of
21. Right, I was
21.
about to say, I was like, am I old enough to be on this site? Let me think about it.
I don't know.
Here, there you go, buddy. It's okay. It's okay. If Tim had Nazi fucking undertones, I would have fucking sussed that shit out a long time ago and eaten him. So he would not have survived being in the company of Mikey Famine.
I've infiltrated the far left.
The sleeper agent, activate.
Actually, you know what? I just like you to show that you give a damn. That you got a little emotion about the fact that people are losing their jobs indiscriminately.
Turn me up in the headphones.
That this individual sitting at...
what was you about to say, Mike? Mike, what was you about to say? Mike, say it. Michael, Mikey, Michelangelo. Say that shit. Call him it.
that this individual sitting at...
Come on, brother. You on the bulwark, you can go online. You don't have to go on these shows. Drop the bomb.
Down the 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue has given absolute power to one man who brings his son into the Oval Office,
putting boogers on the desk because he picks his nose because he doesn't have social skills because he's...
Michael Steele reminds me of like the principal at your school that was just pissed off at you for doing stuff.
Yes. Dr. Shields.
Whose son says to him, "You're not the president. You shouldn't be in that chair." Now, where did he get that from? He got it from his daddy, because that's what his daddy thinks of the man who...
So, did you see that Grimes was on Twitter talking about, like, Elon, I need you to talk to me. Elon, you need to talk to me right now. Like, you need to hire somebody to talk to me. Our son has a medical thing. You need to talk to me.
Yeah.
I bet he's got measles, bro.
Yeah?
Our son will be impaired forever. I was like, what the hell could impair him for? Oh, they're in Texas.
Yeah.
See? And Elon ain't said shit about his kid getting fucking measles. But it's cool. Y'all didn't hear from me.
Brought him into the Oval Office. So I just like to see somebody wake the hell up and get excited about the fact that your country is under assault. They're not at the gate anymore. They're in your bedrooms. They're in your living rooms. They're in your businesses. They got your data, dumbass. They got all your stuff. Elon.
Damn.
That's going on the soundboard. They got your data, dumbass.
They got your data, dumbass. They got all your stuff. Elon Musk has his tentacles in everything you're doing, not just off of X, but now he's in the Treasury Department. He's in the Labor Department. He's in the Department of Homeland Security. And nobody seems to give a damn. So that's all I want, somebody to show that they care enough to get off their fat ass and say something about it.
But let's be honest, they're going to have to...
Thoughts, sir?
I mean, he's absolutely right. This is the conversation that has been going on, I would say, between Democrats who are pissed off that the other Democrats aren't fucking doing anything.
Yeah.
And a prime example is they had Hakeem Jeffries on Rachel Maddow last night, and he just fucking puts people to sleep. Rachel Maddow gave him every opportunity to say, I hear you, we're working on it, we're going to do something. Instead, he just fucking, he says and does nothing. He says and does nothing.
So here's my question to you. You're very politically astute. You know, you're no bump on the log. You've been watching politics for quite some time. Why won't the Democrats say anything? What do you think they're afraid of at this point?
I don't think that they're afraid. I think that the Democrats still think they can make a deal. I think that the Hakeem Jeffries and the Chuck Schumers still think that they can work with Republicans instead of
Fighting them?
Fighting them, yeah, instead of just fighting them, because that's what they have to do at this point. The Republicans, I mean, you saw in those town halls, the Republicans have no compunction about lying to constituents,
Tim,
about...
He didn't even show up.
Yeah, they don't even show up.
This dude showed up as him with the fucking weird ass fucking thing on his face. But they just didn't, he's like, fuck it, I'm just not gonna go.
But Michael Steele is 100%, 1000% correct. The Democrats have to get energized and they have to fight. They have to be activists here. Right. They can't just be statesmen and hope the Republicans are going to play the game, because the Republicans are playing a different game. They're playing fucking Risk, and we're out there playing the game of life or something.
It's not even chess and checkers. It's like tic-tac-toe and Monopoly.
Right.
It's like, and why are you trying to, but if he plays there, then I will be the victor. It's like, bitch, he just got $200 again.
And they already
roll the dice.
And they already own all the orange and all the red properties, so we're fucked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My thing was I would always grab, like, Baltic Avenue because no one would want it.
Yeah.
And that's what I would use to fund my purge of Boardwalk and Park Place. Raise them to the ground.
And they own all the railroads.
Man. So I had a prediction about a year ago that we're going to lose the internet.
Okay.
If people don't silence this and shut this up, I think net neutrality will break the internet, or the loss of net neutrality will break the internet as we know it. It'll be throttled. It'll have to, go through X or something like that. Like I think we're going to lose a lot of our ISPs.
Right.
I think they'll go after them and then get them to bend. Because they just want money at the end of the day. They don't really care about freedom of ideas and commerce and porn,
And the Republicans have sort of declared war on anyone who is against them anyway. So yeah, it's going to be fall in line or go away.
Let's see here. What am I going to do? Here we go. Poll. Al Trucker. How you doing?
Then ultimately,
the hell with Republicans. They're not going to do anything. They're the problem.
But from a numbers perspective, my point is, if you actually want any real accountability, it's like you've seen. We had Jamie Raskin on last weekend. He's talking about sort of this novel legal theory, and he was asked, "Are you willing to bring articles of impeachment yet again to President Trump?" And he said, "You find me 2 or 3 Republicans, and then we actually have a conversation." But
that's a ballot box thing. So what's the strategy to get those people who are strip mining our federal bureaucracy? Who are
strip mining.
Strip mining, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Stripping away your right.
I'm gonna write that down. I can come up with that myself. Strip mining the federal government. Us Michaels all share the same patents.
Oh, there you go.
How do they keep their seats?
It hasn't even been a month.
Thank you.
So we are supposed to wait until the midterm elections. I'm
not saying wait till the midterm elections.
Well, I guess what I am saying is, and I know they told me I got 30 seconds, but like I
damn you, producer in my ear.
used to not be one of those people that were like, people are like, oh, we're not going to have elections in 4 years. I'm like, y'all got to chill out. I am thoroughly concerned about how we survive. And it just makes me
Stephen Baker, welcome.
think about this movie that I saw on the plane a couple months ago, Civil War. It wasn't necessarily great, but I know we gotta go, but in the movie Civil War, like all hell.
Is she talking about the Marvel movie?
No. She's talking about the studio. Was it Studio 24? They put out a movie called Civil War. It's about a future where the Civil War happens, but they're pretty ambiguous about why it happened, and it's from like a journalist point of view.
I was about to say, is she talking about like the entrance of the Black Panther into the MCU? Because I know a lot about that. That was one of my favorites.
Yeah, Civil War was a good Marvel movie.
Forever.
was breaking loose in Washington, D.C. and in places all across the country. And there were people in the middle of the country that were just living their lives like nothing was happening.
Like nothing's
and I think that is actually where we are. And there are going to be a lot of people that are going to continue. I think that is actually where we are.
Where is this as a republic? This is who I imagined as a teenager, that the left and the right will be fighting each other. It should be AOC versus Michael Steele. You know what I mean? Like these kinds of ideas. Jasmine Crockett versus Michael Steele. Katie Porter versus Michael Steele. And that's where you start to see like common ground and like compromise and all that stuff. You need rational people. He don't give a damn about no Elon or no Trump. He's like, I ain't kissing rings for nobody. Hell, damn that. I got my bona fides before these dudes even showed up. So who cares what they have to say? Yowzers. Well, we had a good run. Let me see if I can find the spot. This is Congressman Douchebag McCormick. I can't find his first name. So Roswell, Georgia's on that Florida-Georgia line. This is an hour and 43 minutes. Brother man got cooked for all except the intro.
For every dollar spent on healthcare, it's administrative costs. AI can eliminate a large portion of that and make us much better at what we do.
Fucking AI.
Put AI in healthcare.
You know what? You know what's crazy? The administrative costs for Social Security and Medicare is like 2 or 3%, right?
Tim,
the administrative
that's a lot of percents.
The administrative cost for like health insurance that you or I might have, Mikey, is like 15-20%.
But this would be better.
How is AI going to reduce it like 1%? Like, it's already as efficient as it can be. It's set up to be that way. That's why it's set up by the government. Not to say that the government is the most efficient way, but Social Security and Medicare is the most efficient health insurance system in the country.
When did we start Social Security? Wasn't that like 40s?
It was
50s?
it was the New Deal.
So
I think that was the 40s.
So we've been doing this for almost 80 years. Yeah, the initial version was probably super inefficient and wasteful and all this other stuff. Bro, we've been slimming it down this entire time. And I'm seeing figures like the federal workforce hasn't really increased since the 40s and 50s. We have the same number of people doing the job when we have almost triple the fucking population. Every fucking federal agency is understaffed.
Yeah,
Everybody's
single one.
understaffed. 90% of the FAA towers are understaffed. We've never even tried to have a bureaucracy. We don't even fully have one. It never even got implemented fully because we got douche wagons slowing the progress. We don't even know.
Next question.
Fish Ruth Tylum from Marietta. You have a question for the Congressman on immigration.
Oh boy.
Fish Ruth, floor is yours.
I'm a high school student. I'm a senior this year looking into colleges.
Enhance.
I'm a senior this year. I'm in high school. I've been looking into schools, especially in state, because it's cheaper. However, I don't get hope and zeal.
Don't do it, dude.
Because,
don't do it.
Just save your money and move out.
I'm blocked due to residency status, and I've tried to, contact you guys, and not much has been able to be done. So I just want your opinion. Do you feel that it's fair that someone that's lived here for 17 years does not get access to hope and zeal, even though they meet the academic and SAT requirements?
So.
Ooh, tell that kid he can't go to school. Tell that kid he can't go to school.
He's about to, I think. I think he's like, well, if you were white.
If you weren't a brown, then maybe.
Perhaps if you came from a non-shithole country.
Those of you who are not familiar, we have about 14% of our constituency is Indian diaspora. We have a broken...
Diaspora, dickhead.
No, diaspora.
I think we all agree.
Diaspora.
Regardless of your partisanship, we have a broken immigration system, yes? Okay. So one of the things, I'm very bullish on this, and why I split from a lot of people in my party. I'm very bullish on legal immigration, getting that fixed. We actually have an HR 6542, which gets rid of the 7% cap for people who come here legally and gets rid of the backlog of people who've immigrated here from India, for example, which takes 20 years to become what other people can be.
I wonder which party slowed that down.
Yeah, I don't. Who could have thought?
Probably the Democrat. No, Green Party.
Come in a very short period of time just because you're punished from being from India, for example, right? Yes, exactly. So that's what my bill actually solves that. And it's very aggressive on right-sizing immigration.
So I'll say this real quick. Tim, Tim, pretend like you don't know this. Hey, Tim,
Okay.
did you know that back in the day, an Indian fellow took a case all the way to the Supreme Court to say that him, as an Indian man, was white?
No, Mikey, you're joking.
No, he said all the people from the Caucasus Mountains crawled up from India. So technically, he's the original white. So all of this Jim Crow bullshit that y'all are doing to the brown and black folk shouldn't apply to me because I'm Indian. You know what they said? Shut your Indian ass up.
Immigration. We need legal immigration.
We tried it.
It actually solves the illegal immigration in many ways. We need to have a strong, robust one that matches year for year what we need in America, because ultimately businesses suffer if you don't have the manpower according to the talent that we need. And as Calvin Coolidge said 100 years ago, the business of America is...
Thank you. Scott says Mikey's right. It's diaspora.
No, it's diaspora.
Business.
Diaspora.
If you create wealth, if you
Diaspora.
create jobs, if you create prosperity, it benefits everybody in America. And I want to see the backlog get rid of. I want to see you become a citizen. I do. I legitimately do. And I'm working hard on my own party.
So this kid literally told him, hey, I've been trying to get in touch with your office about my status and me being able to go to college. And he goes on this whole fucking thing. Working at a congressperson's office, I know that there are caseworkers assigned to immigration cases who could probably help. Now, once again, there's far too few of them, so they're overburdened with the amount of work that they have.
I can show you the paperwork on that too.
Sorry.
He could have fixed this, as his staff, either in the district or DC, could have fixed this, and then this kid wouldn't have this complaint. But they chose not to.
Where's my girl
and,
at?
And now he has to explain to this kid in front of everyone that he can't go to college because, there's a backlog because immigration, our immigration system is broken, and I refuse to fix it for however long I've been in Congress.
I have a question on foreign policy for the congressman.
Was going to be the main topic tonight, and he's going to continue to be the main topic tonight because we are all freaking pissed off about this. You're going to hear it and feel it. However,
You better be careful. You're going to get tackled like homegirl.
Get the zip ties. She's asking about Elon. No one asks about Elon. I don't want to get primaried.
However, relative to your experience as a service member, thank you for your service. According to your bio, your deployment.
Oh, she went on your Wikipedia, dog.
Oh no, she read your wiki.
She read your wiki, big boy.
And to various areas of conflict, I would like to know your opinion and your stance on the current situation created by the president, wherein he is now saying that Ukraine is responsible for the war that Russia has.
How embarrassing. That's the other clip I gotta find real quick. And we should probably cover it on Unbox on Thursday night. If you guys are cool, you can hang out with us there. Macron and Trump sitting together having that press conference.
Oh my God, I've seen this.
I was face palming so bad I had to take my glasses off.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Sorry.
Initiated.
Shit, I didn't mean to click that.
And I would like to know if you as a congressman will get with your fellow congresspeople and stand up to the lies that are being told to the Americans. And I would also like to know if you believe that the 80-year-old alliance that we have with our European allies is
But them's the breaks.
strong enough to withstand the attack from our White House, because this is a dangerous, dangerous precedent. You as a service...
It's Macron. Sorry, Scott. French
Macron.
Macron.
Men should
Macron.
help us.
So you're right. I spent over 20 years in the military. Spent a couple deployments in the Persian Gulf, a couple tours in Africa, a couple tours in Korea, a tour in Afghanistan as head of emergency medicine. I happen to be a NATO parliamentarian. I've actually...
We do not care.
Voted on NATO. I've had legislation passed NATO. I stand firmly with NATO. I believe that...
Whoa, brother. Are you trying to get primaried?
Yeah, right?
Whoa, brother. That is not the current Republican standpoint. Check your email, brother, because you're going to need to say 5 things that you did last week pretty soon, because elections don't matter, apparently. If Elon sends you an email, you must answer.
I believe what Reagan said 40 years ago, and point to Hawk, what she said, isolationism never was and never will be the answer to a tyrannical expansionist government.
So I'm going to take over the Gaza Strip. We're going to own it. We're gonna... You know, Greenland should just Panama.
I've been to Kyiv. I've actually sat with President Zelensky in person. I sat with her, and I'm very realistic, because when you go to command and staff school and you learn the history of warfare and you understand why we've had problems in Korea and Vietnam and Iraq.
We don't mind our own fucking business.
In Afghanistan, when you have a protracted war, you lose popular support. And I was trying to avoid this, and this is why I've really been frustrated with, because I think we could have ended the war very quickly, quite frankly. If Europe and the United States, which is a cumulative of $47 trillion, goes against Russia, who has a GDP of $2 trillion, we should be able to defeat them pretty rapidly by sanctions, by undermining their energy production, and by overwhelming weapon systems. I think we could have ended this very quickly if we would just come with force and done what we were supposed to. We didn't do that.
If we would have just starved the people
and
bombed them like we did Afghanistan, this would have been over very quickly. There's no way that a retaliatory force would form, to conquer the white people storming across the land. There's
no way that Russia, which owns the second most nuclear weapons in the world, wouldn't have defended itself.
Launched missiles at every city simultaneously because this dumbass's plan. What are you talking about?
We collectively, Europe, United States, Ukraine did very well, though, because Zelensky's, what I believe was bravery, Zelensky was able to, with his countrymen, blunt a first world army, which has, from a country that has 5 times the population and 20.
I don't know if y'all remember the start of the Ukraine war. That wasn't a first world army that came up against Ukraine.
Remember when they ran out of gas?
Yeah, remember the mile-long column of tanks and armored vehicles that ran out of gas outside of Kiev, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna get there in 3 days." And motherfuckers ran out.
And then all we sent over there was a bunch of javelins. And then all of the tanks that were parked on the side of the road because they were out of gas. The fuel tanker was like a day and a half away, and they just blew them all up.
Man, Russia lost so many troops they had to start conscripting them.
Oh, remember the Wagner group?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Remember, and then the Wagner group went to Africa, and then homeboy went back to talk to Vladimir one last time. And then suddenly his plane was cartwheeling directly vertically towards the ground. Huh. That Russia?
Times
that,
the GDP.
That Russia, yeah. That
was able to
Russia.
stop them in their tracks.
Hold on, he could shoot down his own fucking general's plane, but he couldn't. Never mind.
Destroy half their armor and had.
Remember that dude almost made it to Moscow with that army?
Yeah.
He was outside of Moscow when Putin was like, "All right, let's be cool."
Chill.
About half of million casualties.
Holy shit, 500 billion casualties.
Half a trillion.
Did we all die?
Are we dead right
Are
now?
we all, is this a simulation? Is this hell? Aw, dude, we did die. This is hell.
Ah, God damn it.
I feel like I should have been notified. Email or something.
Because these guys were fighting for their homeland. I support that. And I told President Zelensky, I said, if you really want to continue support, because I understand how that waxes or wanes over time, right? I said, just make sure that the money goes to the place it needs to go.
This is a long non-answer.
Americans won't understand if it goes to a teacher's pension. It'll understand if it goes to the military to fight a war, but we have teachers' pensions too. And we're...
That's not me. He's putting someone yelled at him, so he put the mic down. Like a little baby.
So of the approximately $175 billion that was allocated, 75, Zelensky says, I received this, we're using it appropriately. Where's the other 100 billion? Trump also says, where's the other 100 billion? Now, a bunch of this went to USAID and a bunch went to the World Bank, and it was supposed to disseminate in appropriate manners. That's what we're investigating right now. Now, I'm not sure, because, and Zelensky, I think, is an honest broker of what he's trying to accomplish. He wants to save his nation. And I want Ukraine to win, and President Trump said he wants to, and I know you're gonna get, this is what he said. But it's in our best interest, it's in our best interest, in my opinion, and by the way, this splits the Republican Party down the middle. Half the Republicans support,
down the middle.
Half the,
I'll wait.
He can't be fucking indignant about his constituents yelling at him at a public town hearing. Like, he's acting like he's the one that's being inconvenienced by all this.
He is, Tim. He's supposed to be golfing right now, and he's got to talk to these yokels.
Yeah, his job is to represent them. So if they want to yell at him, then they get to yell at him.
I mean, they
his
voted for him.
His job is not to be a fucking asshole.
I have repeatedly spoken up on this. Repeatedly. I'm speaking about it right now, and I voted for Ukraine. And I have voted for Ukraine support every single time.
Yeah, but then you come out and say this shit.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Now, if you don't think that I'm an independent voter, check my voting record. I voted for Ukraine every time. I've been...
Are you sure you want us to do that?
Ooh, I can do that. I can do that.
Congressman McCormick from Georgia's 4th District, I believe. You sure you want it? You sure, buddy? Because we're going to do it. That's what we do here.
Yeah, it's time to hold these fuckers accountable.
It's almost like all this shit's on the internet, and it's only like, I don't know,
it's
a couple
like
of words,
salesman.
A couple of words per minute away from us finding out that you're lying. So,
and over to Ukraine. I've talked to Zelensky. I don't know what else to tell you. I want them to win.
I'm not going to do anything to help, but
they could do more with less, just like the Marine Corps and everybody else does, when you have to do more with less in order to survive.
When has the military done more with less?
Never.
I believe.
I mean, we even had to
they've
fucking
done
put something in the
less with
Constitution. We even had to put something in the Constitution that we didn't have to fucking quarter soldiers. Or else that would have probably been a thing.
No
education question for the congressman.
I'm going to go out of order just for a second. $5 trillion is 4.5 trillion. You're right. In the next 10 years, it's the exact same corporate tax rate as the Biden administration for the last 4 years. It's not a new tax cut. That's a fact.
Wow, what a lie! All right, let's run that one back. There was a good one.
Wow.
I'm going to go out of order just for a second. $5 trillion is 4.5 trillion. You're right. In the next 10 years, it's the exact same corporate tax rate as the Biden administration for the last 4 years. It's not a new tax cut. That's a fact. It's Trump's tax cuts.
You talking about what we already have versus what was previously here is not dealing with the fact that he's about to double it. He's doubling up on that. The $4 trillion that it or the $2 trillion that it cost us last time in tax cuts that went straight to the debt, or $4 trillion that went straight to the debt. He wants to do that again. But he didn't get the debt ceiling up in time because the Democrats weren't playing ball. So now he's just like, well, we'll just cut all the fucking, we'll just austerity our way to $4 trillion.
Yeah, like that's not.
from 2017, which Biden's economy benefited from for 4 years with an increase in revenue. That's a fact. You can disagree all you want, but that's a fact. Because we're not going by CBO scoring, we're going by dynamic scoring, and that's a fact. Next question. Next question.
Steve Moeller from Roswell. You have an education question for the congressman. Steve, if you were here. Steve's question was, what are you doing to increase the number of Georgians entering vocational careers?
No, not interested. Not interested. Not interested. What's this person?
Thank you so much, Congressman, for taking my question. I do so appreciate it.
Oh, this
I'm
is
a
my
direct
girl.
descendant of Susanna Henry Madison, one of Patrick Henry's younger sisters, and a cousin by marriage of James Madison. Do you know who Patrick Henry was and James Madison, sir?
Wasn't he a traitor? Patrick Henry?
Who? Patrick Henry?
I thought he was a traitor too. Him and
I'm
old
so glad to hear
backstabby.
that. While arguing the need for the American Revolution, Patrick Henry said, "A king is a tyrant. If a wrong step is made now,
he was
the
the give me
republic
liberty
will
or to
be
give me
lost
death guy.
forever and tyranny will rise." I believe you know the rest of his speech. Something about give me liberty.
Yeah.
It's clear from all the writings of our founding fathers that our great republic was never meant to be ruled by a dictator nor a king.
No offense, UK. We don't do that over here.
So,
Look, his little aide is like, I really want to clap. It's so patriotic. My little American flag jeans are quaking.
so you can imagine my shock and pure horror when I woke up to find that our president had given himself unprecedented executive powers and then within a few days named himself king to his followers.
Ooh, Chrissy in the chat. There's a good one. Chrissy, take your air horn. Chrissy says, listening to this idiot lying to his constituents just shows how little to no respect he has for them. Right. He's not afraid of them. He's afraid of Elon putting money in someone else's campaign other than his. That's the fucking problem. The fact that money scares these dudes into literally sacrificing the country is bonkers. Bonkers.
So, going back a few minutes to
Yes,
when
sir.
he was talking about check my record, I did check his voting record on Ukraine, and he has voted for resources and money to Ukraine a few times.
Okay.
But he also voted against benefits for veterans. So,
Well,
you know.
can't win them all, I guess.
King to his followers. Tyranny.
Yeah, Miss
Tyranny.
Virginia, do you have a question for the
I
congressman?
do. I do. Thank you.
Shut your ass up, jarhead. She getting to it. God damn. Get a good tie and some shoes that go with your outfit. Dumbass.
Tyranny is rising in the White House, and a man has declared himself our king. So I would like to know, rather, the people would like to know what you, congressmen, and your fellow congressmen are going to do to rein in the megalomaniac in the White House.
Get it, Virginia.
And this dude was a co-sponsor of the Lake and Riley Act.
Ugh. Dude, there was like 12 Democrats that went along with that. They're on my primary list, which I have right here. Oh, wait. It was, what was it? Quad City. Oh, I can't spell. City. Jesus. All right, I got to move my mic. All right, hold on. Quad City Budinsky. That's her last name. And I forgot the other guy. But I'll remember it soon. And you're going on the list, buddy. So whoever runs against these people, just know you have the full support of the Ben Podcast Network. Full support of the Ben Podcast Network. And we will get your message out there. So run against them. We will help you. One Angry Baker, what's up? And Diz, yes, as a veteran, he voted against. Crazy. Paul says she sounds like the storekeeper from Little House on the Prairie. Now I wonder why. This is George though. These are Southern Bells. One Angry Penguin says, I just had my mom come in and bombard me with questions about the U.S. voting alongside Russia, Belarus, and Iran, etc. at the UN General Assembly. Really didn't know what to tell her. We're the bad guys.
Yeah, we're the bad guys.
We're the bad guys.
We have become the villains in the story now. I mean, not that we weren't before, but now it's more like evil villain, you know, like layer in a volcano kind of villain stuff.
Like I never thought I'd live to see the day that Mario would join forces with Bowser and be like, fuck the Mushroom Kingdom. And look at all these woke white people out here.
And it
all
makes
these
sense.
DEIs.
Our president does kind of look like Wario a little bit.
Fucking JD Vance's Waluigi. We got to get to photoshopping.
I'm not going to give you my best foghorn leghorn response to that. But what I was, you can go ahead and sit down. Thank you. You
got to assume control of the conversation because it's not going your way?
Yeah, right.
Little PP mother.
When you talk about tyranny, when you talk about presidential power, I remember having the same discussion with Republicans when Biden was elected.
Oh, fuck off. Kindly fuck off, sir.
I know he didn't just try to pull that.
If I was the person who asked that question, I still had the microphone, I'd be like, I'm going to have to invite you to go fuck yourself, buddy. Because that's bullshit.
He thought he could pull that off.
Same discussion with Republicans when Biden was elected.
Yeah.
Look at his face. He knew that was bullshit, too. He was like, oh.
He's like, this is not going well.
This is not going well at all.
The funny thing is, you're sitting here and a lot of you would probably say those January 6s who are yelling just as loud as you, who are upset just like you,
who are...
Yeah, you January 6 and yelling bitches.
Man, none of those people are storming the Capitol trying to do an insurrection.
Well, if the shoe fits, lace that bitch up and strut.
I mean, hey, if we're all just going to get pardoned.
Word, that's what I'm saying. There's no... Just do that shit then. Apparently. I'm not doing it.
And not listening.
Hey, let's restore some order. Let's restore some order. Hey.
How about you restore some proper footwear, dickhead?
Restore some order.
So yelling at me is not going to get any answer,
if he's going to defend January 6th, I say we go over there and steal his lectern. Steal the fucking podium.
Yeah.
Walk out with it.
Put a buffalo head on your head.
This is my shit now.
Fucking stab people with the flag. Fucking.
Hey.
Use it as a lance.
Like I said, we're not going to yell.
Point of order. Hey, let's get through this. Congressman. Hey.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go ahead.
They're chanting shame.
Ooh.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Also,
Bill Poole is a shame. He's shameful.
I've seen Game of Thrones too. Thank you. Let's go ahead and move on because if you want.
How dare you steal my thunder, you little wimp?
If you're not going to listen, to the answer, we might as well not discuss it, right? Do you want to hear the answer?
I would say
if
no.
you'd stop yelling.
Artie, what's up, Artie? Oh, wrong one. Artie, take your air horn. He says, is he wearing Skechers? It's the S. It's the new Skechers.
Listen,
it's the Nazi Skechers.
They're really good for if you have fallen arches. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry, Tim. I didn't mean to hit close to home.
Yelling, I will answer. Otherwise, we'll move on.
What a fucking petulant child. What a petulant child. If you guys aren't going to listen, then I'm not going to speak. And then they're like, well, fuck you. And he's like, oh, these people are so exhausting.
I saw this on, what is his name? Waters. Reese Waters. Troubled Waters. That's the name of his podcast. Go check him out. He's like, this dude's acting, McCormick's acting like a substitute teacher. Is like, oh, y'all just going to yell and scream? I'll wait.
Yeah.
And we'll get to the lesson later. I'll wait. Yeah, there it is. I already nailed the laziest substitute teacher energy. Yeah, he's like, well, if you're just not going to behave, I guess we just won't learn multiplication. Like, bro, they're about to eat you.
If you would stop talking for a second, I will answer your question. Okay? So if you listen to what we've projected, and this goes both parties, by the way. This is a bipartisan problem.
Stay in your side of the fence, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You got enough problems over there. Thank you.
REINS Act, the REINS Act, which reins in executive
Are you needing a safe space, Snowflake?
power for both parties, whoever's in party power, and I think it could be tweaked actually to be much better. I don't think executive privilege should be as strong as it is. I think we're out of balance right now.
Oh, you're primaried, brother. That was the wrong answer.
Yeah. Oh,
wrong.
Yeah.
You trying to be loyal to the soil. You're about to be gone, brother.
I think your direct representation.
The REINS Act is from 2023. He's talking about a bill from 2 Congresses ago.
Well, these are Jan 6ers, Tim. They don't know, according to him. I wouldn't take that sitting down, Georgia. You gonna let him call you a January 6er? Do you look like you stream PDF files to your computer after you get pardoned for other crimes, which were also pardoned?
Whether you like me or not, I'm the closest thing you have to a representative. Your senator's not going to be as representative as me, and the president's not going to be as representative as me when it comes to you, the people in this district. Likewise, I think state government needs to be more powerful than federal government. It used to be.
Hey, buddy, it is. 10th Amendment. You should check that out.
That federal funds only made up 1/3 of the money spent, and states was 2/3. It's more representative of your money and your money spent. That's better. Always push government down to the local level because you'll get better representation. I don't want to see the president.
That's not how federal government works.
Yeah, you'll get great representation, like him crossing his arms and harumphing every time somebody says something to him.
He doesn't understand how the Constitution was set up. He just doesn't. It was supposed to be so that the states and the federal government would share power.
Correct.
And the states would have their own powers, and the federal government would have its own powers. And if you want to go back to a government controlled by the states, then we might as well put in the Articles of Confederation again.
All right.
Go back to that, where every state had one vote, and the federal government didn't have any power to tax, and see how well that goes.
One Angry Pagan says, how likely is he to be voted out at the midterms? Well, I think he's pretty cooked at this point. Like,
what district? Oh, hold on. What district is he in again?
I think he's in the
Georgia's...
4th. I think.
Hold on. I was looking him up.
I think. Roswell, wherever Roswell is. Yeah, this should have been a knock out of the park, dude. All he had to say was, Elon did what?
Georgia's 6th congressional district.
Damn it, I missed. Yeah, that's all he would have had to do. It was like, Elon said what? I would never allow that. Not in my great Georgia. I love this country and I love this state. And I love my constituents. And if he ever puts a finger on you guys, it's going to be me and him, brother. Me and him out in the alley. If he ever tries to come after you guys. It's not what he said, though.
It is landslide city out there in the Georgia 6th. He's not getting voted out unless he gets primaried on the right.
That's what I'm saying. One of these fools from the audience is about to run. Homegirl who just dropped that epic line is about to run.
He won his last election 65-35. He won by a bit.
And where is the 6th district? Does it have a map like where in the state? It's by that Florida line, right? I think it's like Tallahassee area.
Yeah.
Up in the Panhandle, they call it.
6th congressional district. Oh yeah, it's right next to the Panhandle.
He said, "I will finger Elon."
It's mostly Charlton, Georgia.
Okay. Mikey, that would require him to have a spine and caring for his constituent. He not gonna have a choice. You are either going to stand up or they are going to drag you out. Oh, I'm in the wrong screen. Ata!
Make all the decisions. I don't. I didn't want to see. Do you not want to hear that I just said? I answered it directly. I said I don't want to see any president be too powerful.
So what are you doing about it, they ask?
Yeah.
I just told you we have an act. We have an act that can be passed by bipartisan resolution. The problem is.
So you think the president's gonna sign it? Look, dude, I watched Schoolhouse Rock. You can't fool me, hot dog man.
You know what, Mikey? I will amend what I said. Looking at the voting history in that district, it is a swing district, and he only got in 2022, and this is his first re-election. Before him, it was Democrats for 8 years, and then Republicans for a bit. Like, he can be primaried, and or he can lose a general.
Because the thing that they're trying to bank on, and unfortunately the Democrats kind of relied on, was the old norms. The old norms are gone. Every district can be flipped. Everything can be flipped. Because you can't attack people, especially whites, when it comes to the shit that they feel like is theirs. They don't want to lose what they feel like they have rightfully earned, whether it is true or not. You are fucking with their bread. Daily Blase in the chat, all the way from the north. What's up, man? This dude.
We couldn't pass it when Joe Biden was in presidency. Then why didn't he pass it? Biden wouldn't pass it, and the Senate.
It never made it out. It never made it out of the House floor. It never made it out of the House floor.
So why didn't Joe Biden sign it? Because it never got to him. But he could have chased it down in the night.
It never even made it for a vote in the Senate. Like it never got. It got out of committee and then it died on the floor because Speaker Johnson didn't like it.
What's Speaker Johnson's nickname?
Mike.
MAGA Mike.
He had a nickname. MAGA Mike.
Yeah.
MAGA Mike.
MAGA Mike didn't let it get off the floor. Strange.
The democratically controlled Senate would not touch it because they wanted Biden to have executive privilege that was too big too. And this is the problem.
And what did he do with it?
Nothing.
This is a bipartisan issue, guys.
Well, to be fair, he was asleep.
Sleepy Joe.
He was knocked out after eating 16 ice cream cones. Man, I love ice cream. Progress only in the chat.
Look, I'm the one saying let's work together, and you're the one screaming at me. Okay? Let's be fair. I'm telling you how you solved this, and you're saying no, we don't want to hear that.
Yeah, because
hey, let's move on to Karen
Telling at
Skalanka's
me
question.
is not going to solve this problem.
Well, it does make us feel better.
Here's the problem: is that there are two kinds of ways as a congressman that you can serve your constituents. You can either hear what they're going to say, and base policy based on what they want you to do, or you can tell them to go fuck yourselves and do whatever you want. And that is what most Republicans are doing at this point, including this guy. He's like, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and you're just going to like it. Or don't, and I don't care.
Look, I'm not getting primaried, so I'm going to just march to the beat of their drum. It'll be fine. And you guys will forget all about this.
Karen Skalanka from Roswell. Karen?
Uh-oh.
Karen, are you here? So the floor right now is for Karen Skalanka. question
Shut
for the
your ass up.
congressman. Karen, if you're here today, okay, there is a huge deficit. Then why does Trump and Republicans want to have an unlimited ceiling? Do you support this unlimited debt ceiling? What are you going to do?
No, I don't. I don't think that anybody should be without accountability, whether you're Democrat or Republican.
Oh, buddy. You are going to pay for those claps. You are going to pay.
Here is where the Republicans' budget is going to run into a lot of problems. Even if they're doing reconciliation,
Yeah.
this debt ceiling thing,
Yeah.
the Republicans who are super hawks about the deficit and the debt and have always been like your Rand Pauls and maybe this guy, who knows? Like, there's a handful of Republicans who that's their entire identity, is that they don't want to raise the debt ceiling.
Right.
And they're going to have to come up against it with MAGA Mike and the MAGA crew, who are just, they don't care. Like, they flip sides regardless.
Let's take a step back, Tim, because we might be talking past some things because we're nerds and we love torturing ourselves with this. What do we mean unlimited debt ceiling? What is the debt ceiling? Like, what are they even referencing here? Let's back up.
Okay, so the debt ceiling is an artificial construct that
like
Congress
gender
has put on. Yeah, exactly. That Congress has put on America's ability to borrow, and the debt ceiling is basically what we think the maximum amount of debt that we're going to need is. And this is money that's already been spent, by the way. This is debt that we've already accumulated. We're just saying we're not going to accumulate more.
Some sort of backstop where, okay, we're going to spend like we normally do, but if it gets past, we're not going to go past X amount of dollars.
Yeah. And then because we don't properly tax in this country, we exceed that debt limit and we have to raise it so that we can borrow more money. And the political point of view on this from the Republicans has for the most part been, we don't want to raise the debt ceiling because we're borrowing too much money and we're not cutting enough. And that has been their whole deal for the last 20 or so years, ever since Bush fucked up our government. And like
and
I
Reagan.
believe that, and Reagan. But under Clinton there was a budget surplus for a little bit, and we started paying down the debt a little bit, and then Bush got into office, and the whole
weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah. We started spending a lot on the military, like way more than we should have, and war and all that stuff. And they cut taxes, and they just keep cutting taxes without cutting spending, because they can't cut spending unless they unless they strip mine the government. Is that the phrase now?
Yeah, Michael Steele dropping bombs, baby.
So now the plan is, with the current budget, they're going to cut taxes, which means the deficit and the debt will balloon even more.
Yes.
And they're going to raise the debt limit at a commensurate rate. They think that they're going to have to spend an additional $4.5 trillion over the next 10 years. And
goodbye, America.
So they're raising the debt ceiling to that amount. I don't think it's an unlimited debt. Trump wants to get rid of the debt ceiling.
Yeah,
because he doesn't want to have these fights over it anymore.
He just wants permanent tax cuts for rich people, permanently, forever and ever. Amen.
Yeah, and he doesn't care how far in debt the government actually goes, and they show their unseriousness whenever they're like, oh, well, everyone will get a check as a Doge dividend from the money we saved. Well, shouldn't that money go into the debt?
I thought that was the point, was to pay off the debt. Why are you giving people checks if you're trying to pay off the debt? Hey, guys, I raised some money for our credit card bill. And since we raised so much money, I'm not going to put any of it towards our bills. I'm just going to, give you a little cut. Like, it's so naked and obvious that that's what their plan is, to just like lull people into this, like, hey man, and the amounts for these checks that they're saying, like, let's get a calculator out right quick. Let's go to how much. I've heard rumors of $5,000 to $8,000. Is that what you heard, Tim?
I think 5,000 is right now the standard.
How many people would have to get that? How many people do you think would be, privy to that check?
Well, it's per family, I believe.
Family?
Or it's depending on how you file your taxes.
So every person who files a tax return would get this 5,000, essentially.
Yeah.
So how many people is that? Like 200 million?
Probably, yeah, around 200 million.
Okay, let's just do that times 2. God, that's a lot of zeros.
Oh, look at that. It's $1 trillion.
So instead of putting $1 trillion towards the debt, we would give everybody $5,000 out. The math ain't mathin'.
And I think here's the problem that a lot of people have is that like the numbers of the government's budget is so like
astronomical.
$1 trillion. It's really hard to imagine that amount of money.
Yeah.
Unless you're Elon Musk and you almost own $1 trillion.
Which is
but even
bananas.
then, it's all fucking play money for him.
Right.
Like it might as well be monopoly money. And guys, we made money up.
It's not real.
It's not real.
It's not real.
It's fiat currency. Like, but the game that they're playing is they have to cut somewhere so they can make up for these tax cuts that they're never going to be able to pay for. Last time Trump was president, the deficit, not the debt, the budget deficit, where we spend more money than we take in, was about $1 trillion at the end of Trump's term. Which means that every year Trump was spending $1 trillion more than he was taking in government-wise.
But
And
Tim, if we tax rich people to account for that trillion, then they won't have $1 trillion.
Right. But the government will.
Oh, but we don't need that for Social Security and Veterans Affairs and FAA workers and IRS agents, CDC workers, cancer research for
Farms.
kids. U of I lost their soybean lab. Veteran suicide hotlines. We can't afford it, Tim, because these businesses need another $1 trillion.
Yeah, because they're job creators. They're going to create jobs.
Yeah, I hope so. Progress only in chat says I had someone yell at me because Lee Atwater comment from 1981 apparently doesn't apply anymore when the strategy hasn't changed, and we still won't have no out of pocket cost healthcare. I mean, if you run the figures on how much healthcare, like Bernie's been saying this forever. If you tax the millionaires properly, we don't have all of this austerity and horrible shit. The only people who would be like slightly inconvenienced would be people who have $250 billion as opposed to $400 billion. Damn.
There's a question in the chat from Chris C that says, where did that extra $1 trillion go? I'll tell you exactly where it went. To people.
Yes.
Well, half of it went to people, half of it went into the bond market. Because during COVID, and I forget which was the first act passed, but either the CARES Act or the Recovery Act, or the Rescue Act.
The Sharia Law Act.
Yeah. They put $500 billion immediately into the bond market to prop up the bond market because they thought it was just going to crash. And then they spent money on, propping up individual states' unemployment insurance because they needed that. They spent money on checks to everybody because people didn't have jobs. They propped up, a lot of things, but they also kind of just like spent it like regular. The problem is it's not on the spending side. The spending side has been cut to pieces at this point. It is on the income side where we're not taking in enough tax revenue because the Republicans don't understand how to properly run a government.
They are incapable of governing. They only know how to hook up their friends.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. And that's why, and it's very frustrating because that's why the Democrats look so feckless and they look so useless so much of the time. Half of the job is like plunging the toilet from the guy before you. You know what I mean? Like these guys continually set it up so that the American people are screwed over. And if you don't plunge that turd out of the fucking thing so that the flow of commerce can go back to normal, it doesn't happen. And the grift from like we had like regular inflation, and then we had shrinkflation, which was them like literally companies just like giving customers less shit. Like your cereal box got smaller, your chip bag got smaller, and the price stayed the same. They were just like, we're just not going to give you as much. And then they tried to blame it on COVID. And then some organization, CFP, B&J, ESPN, CNN, MSNBC, NASAA, like some group of nerds, probably deep staters, went after those people. And then the banks who were like, well, I transferred your money, but I screwed up the order of it, so you kind of got an overdraft fee on that. My bad. And if you don't go in there and argue it, they're not going to give you your money back. Yeah. That literally happened to me with an unnamed bank that is totally not Chase. In like 2007 when I was DJing, I would deposit my DJ checks, spend, and I wouldn't use my card. I would just use cash for everything. And then I went to go pay my rent, and they're like, you're overdraft. I'm like, how the fuck am I overdraft? I haven't used my card. They're like, well, this was before Netflix. This was before all of the things that would come out every month. I was like, how is this part? Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. There was a mistake. We have restored all your funds. I was like, empty the account.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Just give it all to me right now. I was like, what would have happened if I didn't come in here?
Right.
Well, sir, I will escalate your ticket. I'm like, you gonna be escalating something else in a minute. Keep playing with my mother money. But this is what they want. And then guess what? After they pillaged everything, and then the banks gave out all those shitty loans, they still needed a bailout from guess who? My broke ass. The taxpayers had to bail them out. After they got caught grifting so bad and just literally fleecing the people. So when Republicans continually bring up this job creation and deficit and what are we going to, the interest on the debt and all that, they know how to pay all that shit off. I know how to pay half of it off right now. Drain all of the money that Elon has. Never give him a contract again.
Yeah.
There you go. That'll save us half of it right there. Right there.
I mean, you can also maybe stop spending $1 trillion on the military every year.
When we're at peace.
We don't need to be spending that. And the crazy thing is, the Republican budget that's coming up, there's cutting all these other things. We're like, here's another $150 billion to the military. Even though I'm sure they haven't asked for it. And actually, Fox News host Pete Hegseth, who
that's Commander in General Pete Hegseth now,
who's our Secretary of Defense, is finding places to cut spending in the military. So why are they going to cut military spending but also increase military spending at the same time? It doesn't make sense.
BlackRock would be very disappointed in you, Tim.
I'm sure.
We may disagree, but I'm consistent on this issue. And realize that I'm saying it both sides. I blame the Republican Party and the Democrat Party for our problems. I've said we have Democrat and Republicans that work together to solve these problems. And I think this is a problem that we can only dig out together. Now, if you look at the legislation we passed, we're top 10 in legislation passed. Why? Because I work well with others. I don't call people names. I don't yell at people. I don't tell my Democratic colleagues that I
Your shoes offend me.
disagree with vehemently. I don't call them out and say, you're a bad person. What I do is I go to them. I literally had, even on things that are pretty polarized, I had 20 Democrats vote for my bill because, why? Because I'm trying to get something solved. Once again,
it's hard to hear him.
If you're talking about solutions.
He said,
moving on.
He said they're all bad. Why can't you condemn him? I think he was talking about Trump.
Ben Pearson from Alpharetta. Mr. Pearson's question is, do you support RFK Jr.? If so, please explain how supporting him...
I'm sorry, I can't...
Speaking of brainworms, I saw that in the chat pop through.
Hear the question out because people are being rude.
Your shoes are rude. Are you gonna
Please
run around the
be
block
silent
after
and
this?
respectful while we get through this.
They should have mic'd the crowd.
Yeah.
Since the early days of the establishment of this country, we've avoided that sort of despotism. If
We're
you
going
wanna
to
look at
move on to the
most-
next question, sir.
If we're not going to have a conversation, go ahead and move to the next question.
Oh, you don't want to answer about RFK. Measles on the rise, but hey. That guy yelled, so I don't really have to say anything about RFK.
RFK Jr. If so, please explain how supporting him aligns with the Hippocratic oath you took.
Good question.
So just like every bureaucrat and just like every politician, I have differences of opinion with him. I do. Sincere differences of opinion. And that goes for pretty much every single bureaucrat out there. Just like I have differences of opinion with you. Some things I agree with them on, some things I disagree on.
We know what differences of opinion means. You don't have to tell us. You can just answer without mansplaining what a difference of opinion is. And this guy's suit is also terrible back here.
I'm not going to go line by line on it because I am a physician. I go with science as best as I can. And that's why the CDC and I agree on some things. And Dr. Howie,
He's out of here, brother. He just agreed with the CDC. He is out of here.
Yeah, he's out of here.
Welcome to the primary board.
taught me in residency, who's probably politically different from me, we can have really good discussions about what is science and what's not. Peer-reviewed science, and I try to play the odds. It's not that we're always going to be right. There is a bit of art to medicine.
Play the odds, Tim. Play the odds. Is that in the Hippocratic Oath?
No.
First,
No, it's not.
first, do play the odds.
But you play the odds. When I give you an antibiotic based on your genetics and your difficulty, I'm assuming that this has the best chance of succeeding. It doesn't mean it's going to. It doesn't matter if it's a cancer treatment or an antibiotic or antiviral. We do our best. Some things I disagree with RFK Jr. very much so. But some things I agree on, but I take that lane by lane.
There you are. You have a question on DEI
Hi,
for the
Congressman.
congressman.
I do. So I wrote this down so I would sound a little more polished. There are now active
You're not supposed to tell the audience that you did that. You just do it.
orders to remove or restrict certain curricula, opportunities, and organizations in higher education, particularly as it pertains to DEI. As a graduate of an HBCU, what is your position on protecting academic freedom and ensuring that colleges and universities can provide a comprehensive and diverse education without political interference? Because censoring higher ed is a slippery slope. And I ask this because I have 2 teenage daughters that are now
Do not tell Matt Gaetz that.
looking for colleges. They have both taken AP Gov, and they do not understand what's going on.
Oh, they do. They just can't believe it.
Very near and dear to my heart. You're right. I was president of the student body at Morehouse School of Medicine, a school that's 60% female, 80% black, 95% liberal.
They let your dumbass into Morehouse? Man.
Believe it or not.
Morehouse, don't do that no more. I know we let some in there, but don't do that no more. Sorry, DEI's out. No more white people at fucking HBCUs. They're bringing down the whole system. Like, if we're going to segregation, sorry, no more white kids at the HBCUs. Nope, you can't come in. Sorry, banned.
That's not because I'm a white conservative male, and it was the same year Obama was elected president of the United States. So when I have a discussion with you, this is what I mean. I'm starting at a point where I don't want to convince you you're wrong. I want to convince you that I care about your opinion, and sometimes we're going to have a difference of opinions.
That's not answering the question. That's talking about how to answer questions.
Where I'm going to start from, okay? When we talked about discussions we had at Morehouse, when we talk about funding, this is one of the reasons that I don't like federal control of education, because then whenever I give you money from the federal, it comes with strings attached. I get to tell you what to do with it. That's the problem.
Yes,
I'd much rather the
that's
school.
The point. That's the point. Is so that everyone gets the same education. That's why there's strings attached to the money. It's so that states don't do whatever the fuck they want.
You're going to take federal funding and then say no more black kids at the HBCU. And HBCU, sorry, we're just doing the acronym thing, sorry. That's historically black colleges and universities, which we made because y'all were segregating all the schools and you wouldn't let us in the regular ass colleges. Or you let 5 people in. So we said, fine, we'll have our own fucking colleges. Fine. We're smart too, damn it. And then they let this asshole in there. See, just gone downhill. Downhill.
Contain its own money and make its own decisions, but have to be funded locally by people who get to make their own decisions. When the federal government gets to take over, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, they get to decide how that money is disseminated based on what their rules are. One year they're going to say you must teach DEI, another year they're going to say you can't teach DEI. I hate that. I don't want to see our control.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Don't fucking teach them that.
Don't teach people that they can be included or
no.
Here's the wild part that everyone is leaving out of all of that is that it's not DEI, it's DEIA, and the last letter is accessibility.
Yes.
They're taking away accessibility programs for people who are disabled.
Yes. So if you're hearing impaired or blind or need a ramp because you're differently mobile, like, fuck you. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. Like, this is crazy. Crazy. And it's so easy. Like, Republicans could just jump on this and be the champions of this and flip it so that everybody would be on their side. And the Democrats and the Democrats can't figure out that, hey, you have to fight for all parts of the DEIA, not just the parts that are, rich.
Control of the government by the federal people of your local schools or anything else like that. I'm against that. I want you guys to control your local schools. But you can't do that when you get back from the federal government. That's never how it's been. So if you want DEI, then fund it locally and vote on that. But if you don't want DEI, once again, the federal government, whoever's in control, rules. And I hate that. I don't want the federal government to dictate.
And that's why you are going to put on the floor the articles of impeachment for Trump. Thank you, Congressman McCormick.
You're right, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like
Lordy.
it.
All right. Are we going?
Right.
Oh, here.
Put on James Carville, and then we'll take it home.
Got to close all these other ones. But he was so happy. He was having such a good time until all those people came and started shouting at him. I love this. I love the empty church. He was scared to go to church. Brother.
Where do Democrats go from here? And will common sense ever return to that party? Here with more. We call him the Raging Cajun himself, Democratic strategist James Carville. I was telling people today that you're going to be on the show, and I on the radio, I was reminding people we would do debates against each other around the country. You're one of the most fun people to ever hang out, but you're also one of the smartest strategists I've ever met. You are, and I'm not sucking up. Man. Your old boss with Newt Gingrich balanced the budget 5 times. Hasn't happened since. Now your party is against tens of billions spent abroad for Green New Deal, DEI, woke agenda, and transgenderism. What happened?
Yeah, I'm so glad that they passed that transgender or whatever fucking bill. Yeah. And those 6 people in the NCAA, oh, Mikey, don't forget about those neurodivergent conditions. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Because, that's the woke thing. Take into account people with different sensory overload problems.
Well, we got to get that $100 million for condoms for Hamas because that's where all the savings are. I haven't seen.
Cute answer.
There's
tens and hundreds of billions.
American
Sean didn't like that. He didn't like that. He interrupted immediately.
Woke agenda and transgenderism. What happened?
Well, we got to get that $100 million for condoms for Hamas because that's where all the savings are.
That they're using to make bombs, by the way. Hamas needs $100 million in condoms to make bombs, according to them.
Cute answer. There's tens and hundreds of billions.
American all right, you went for 10 minutes.
All right, go
okay?
ahead. Go ahead.
If
shut
he
your
can
ass up.
If he can find the money, great, give everybody $1,000. But I'll tell you this, more deficit has accumulated under Donald Trump than the other president in American history. But
Well, damn it, that's because fucking
that's Obama and Biden who did that.
yeah, they set him up.
They set him up to
They
do
set him up with these economies that were booming, and that's why the deficit is the way it is, because they were collecting tax money from rich people, and that's wrong.
I'm glad that you're on the fiscal responsibility bandwagon. I'm glad.
Has the $100 billion worth of condoms been fact checked? Yes. So it was, I think it's a much smaller amount of money, and it went to Gaza
Yeah.
County in Kenya, where there's an AIDS epidemic.
It was like $500,000,
Yeah.
I think. Like, it was very small.
It's a very small amount of money in comparison, and it was going to Gaza County in Kenya. But dumbass saw Gaza and assumed it was in Palestine, and assumed it was going to terrorists, and assumed it was for bombs.
Tons of Mine says it was just one condom, a big one.
Jesus Christ! That is all. That is
on the bandwagon of Bill Clinton being able to balance the budget and bring unbelievable prosperity to America. But
yeah, but you did NAFTA, and was at the expense of the working, at the expense of all of our unions. So.
And you reading these polls, and I'm reading the polls saying the Democrats are 13 points up in the congressional generic, that Donald Trump has the lowest approval rating of any president at this point in his presidency in American history. So your viewers are getting one view, and I'm reading another view. So one of us is right and one of us is wrong. It's that simple.
Put on
They
Trafalgar.
got fact checkers at Fox and.
Well, we do, and we put on Trafalgar and Matt Towery and Robert Cahaley and an Insider Advantage. And by the way, for the last 3 presidential elections, they were the top pollsters in the country, among the top 3. So they're pretty credible to me.
Look at our 4 polls that. So again, the lowest approval at this point in history. But if your viewers want to believe this, go ahead and believe it. I mean, I can't do anything about it. If they want to believe,
listen,
that Donald Trump.
Progress in the chat. Trafalgar is not a top pollster.
Eve, were you telling?
I'm going to congratulate you on good journalism. You asked him about Medicaid. And that's the most constipated answer I've ever heard in my life, but you did your job. I'm going to give you credit for being an insightful and good journalist.
I appreciate you giving me credit, James. I do.
His fake teeth, Hannity, are so white, I'm about to do the fucking Tulsi Gabbard outfit filter on that shit.
You're a fun guy to debate. Listen, you said you want to talk about the polls you believed.
Oh, that poll is ranked 279. Jesus.
Your polls told you Kamala Harris is going to be.
Carville, he's not wrong about the Democrats being like 13, 14 points up on a generic ballot for Congress. It's actually pretty crazy. The Republicans are way underwater in Congress.
I wonder why.
President, didn't they? You were predicting she's going to win. What happened?
The polls are tied.
Because my pollsters got it right.
So
they predicted Donald Trump would win.
So let me back up. We went with our 7th-string quarterback, and we lost by 1.5 points, and we actually picked up a congressional seat. So if you're asking me, did I think that she was going to win, and she didn't win? Yes, all the polling showed it even. It turned out to be a 1.5 point race. And you lost seats. But if you have, and I'm telling the Democrats, just sit there, play possum, let them go, let them go, let them go. Poll numbers are declining. The collapse is already underway. Let's see when they put the Medicaid budget, when they put the tax.
Put the goddamn papers down, Sean Hannity. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Use your cough button.
Someone tell these news anchors, these Sean Hannity and Mika and Joe, to cut it out.
Stop printing things out for them. They do not get access to the printer before the show. Only after. Your little card swipey thing at the Xerox machine will only work after the show.
The $4.5 billion, $1 trillion of tax cuts to wealthy people, Just let the ball come to you. We don't need to be aggressive now. We can just
All right,
sit
so do you
back,
trust CBS?
And they're going to have
because
to
CBS had him on the positive side.
He had to go dig up some poll from fucking 1645. What the hell?
People agree with him on immigration. They agree with him on reckless spending. They agree with eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse. What happened? You know, Bill Clinton and
FYI, they're ranked 279 out of 285.
Damn.
Well, you're not the very last, because the other guys just didn't even have a poll.
I'll give him credit where credit's due. I mean, I give as much credit to Newt Gingrich, to be honest, and the fact that he had such a bad first midterm. And the era of big government is over, end of welfare as we know it, and they balanced the budget.
Chrissy, good question in chat. Do you think it was simply the case that the majority of Americans were not ready for the first female president, let alone a woman of color? Try not to be disrespectful here, by the way. No, you're good, and you asked it in a very respectful way, so thank you. Yes, America is very racist. If you can't tell by the rise of Nazis everywhere, and here's the indicator. It's not just that Nazis pop up, because the Klan has been the Klan. They have parades every year. They're allowed to be like a 501c3. Like, the government knows who they are. They know who the leaders are. They know all that stuff. Being a racist prick is not illegal. It's unconscionable, but it's not illegal. The fact. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, Mikey. I think that America has proven a couple of times they're not ready for a woman to be president, and it's just sad. It's unfortunate.
Ton says the Klan be clanning.
Yeah, the Klan be clanning. Like, was Kamala Harris the perfect vessel for a Democratic female candidate? No.
Absolutely not.
Was Hillary Clinton? Super.
Absolutely not.
But they also like came up. Those two women came up against Donald Trump, and in each case it was literally like 50-50.
Right.
And you know, in between was a white dude who ran against Donald Trump and
suddenly
won. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, let's call a zebra, right? Like, unfortunately, I think the evidence shows that America is just a lot of it on the racist / sexist side.
And if Republicans want to prove me wrong, put a woman up. What happened to Nikki Haley?
Oh, wow.
Oh. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, she can be the little blonde pit bull down in Georgia all she wants. That's fine, as long as she stays in her place. Like, these dudes are, like, if the racism thing wasn't a thing, then why don't white dudes go beat the shit out of the Klansmen every weekend?
Right.
Why don't the white dudes go fuck up all of the fucking, neo-Nazis marching around this place? Why don't they just, like, fucking... Now, hold on there, boy. What you doing with that racism? We don't tolerate no racism around here, boy. What the hell you think you're doing? Huh?
Yeah, like, why aren't there... I mean, I know there was at least one instance of people, like, throwing shit at the neo-Nazis marching. Well, why isn't it just, like...
A landslide.
Yeah, why isn't it that all the time?
65% of the country is white. They should be in fear for their life. If America is so non-racist, then they would be horrified that all these white people would rise up and stomp them down if they ever did any kind of racist activity. But for some reason, they have a complete lack of fear. And they just march through the streets. I mean, they cover their faces because they want to, keep their jobs and stuff. But they have no trepidation about marching around in a room in a whole city full of white folk, because they know that those white folk are racist adjacent. Like, they don't want to, like, actually fly a Confederate flag, but they're not going to, like, tell somebody not to do it. I mean, who am I to tell them no? So,
yeah, and you know what? I totally forgot that I wanted to talk about this, but this is exactly this conversation. I was over the weekend campaigning for a friend of mine who's running for a state senate in Connecticut. His name is Tony Afehi, and if you live in the 21st Senate District in Connecticut, go vote for him. Today is the special election. Do it. I was the very first door that I knocked on was a Democrat, and he was a Democrat who ran for the mayor of a town. Like, I thought this guy was for sure gonna be like, yep, 100% support. I'll do whatever. I knock on his door. I tell him I'm canvassing for Tony Afehi, and he's like, oh, I'm not voting for that guy. Oh, by the way, Tony Afehi is a black guy. Yeah.
In Connecticut?
In Connecticut. And he's like, I donated to Tony's campaign, but I found out how woke he was, and now I'm not voting for him. A Democrat in Connecticut was like, found out that he's a black guy, can't do it.
I don't know, like, there's only so many times black people can just stand up and tell you to your face there is a racist problem in this country. There is a where's my button? Oh. There is a racist problem in this country. People like racism in this country. They have to get over that shit. It wastes time and money. That, like, I don't know what, that's it. Like, they are racist, and whether or not they actively go out and do it, they'll stomach it, and that's the fucking problem. So when Watts in America decide that they no longer want to be racist adjacent or racist stomachers, and they become anti-racist, and they actively go out and stomp and snuff the flames of racism in this country, which will bleed into anti-Semitism, Asian hate, Muslim hate, all that stuff. All that stuff is tied together. When you destroy white supremacy at its root, you don't have these issues. But it's not going anywhere at present. So
yeah, and I just want to say that, like, you know, I do whatever I can for candidates like Tony, who he's just the nicest guy, and he's just trying to do good for a local election, a somewhat local election, and he's running against like a real piece of shit, like
a real winner,
a real he's one of them MAGA types, and yeah, and like,
and Connecticut's very blue,
yeah, but the Republican state chairman who lives in my town is like a hardcore MAGA type. So the Republican Party in Connecticut is MAGA. Like, they are fully on board.
Yeah.
I think it's a really major mistake and an insult to me.
But I mean, you know, I just want to see good people get elected. And Tony's a good person. He's a nice guy, and he just wants to help.
Have you ever been wrong? I was like, no.
The two of them together, they work together. I see your party screaming and yelling and acting like lunatics, and you're smarter than that.
January 6th.
Because that's not you. And you're kind of spinning a little on me because you got your ass kicked in this election, and everyone thought you were all going to win.
No, I lost a point. I'd never hit me off by a point and a half. But all you have to do...
point and a half landslide.
And go to Real Clear Politics. It's actually a conservative-leaning site. And they run all the poll averages. You can look them up. It's right there. This is not some kind of secret thing. If you go back and you look at... Polling was actually very accurate in the 2024 election. I mean, there was a certain... infinite stuff that you can get wrong. But yeah, now look again, 13-point lead in the congressional race. The Democrats are almost certain to win the Virginia governor's race. I mean, not almost. They are certain to win it. And they're certain to win the House of Representatives back. And that's just a fact. That you can look and see, and Trump is the lowest rated president at this point of any president in American history. It's a fact.
Well,
that is true.
You suck at your job. Hey, Trump, I'm going to need you to put in the email the 5 things that you did last week.
What poll are you citing? Because I'm citing Matt Towery, Robert Cahaly, and the CBS poll. So you want me to go to the Real Clear Politics average?
Look at Trump approval, and is the Trump? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If you look at the CBS poll on topic after topic, the country's agreeing with his agenda, not with your party's agenda.
Holy glasses. You see that?
The topic, the country's agreeing with his agenda, not with your...
Damn, son. Holy fuck, Sean.
Yeah. Damn.
You can't see a lick, boy. You just looking into the void, ain't you? You have no idea who you're talking to. You must have memorized his voice. Because you can't see a goddamn... There's some quadfocals? What is that?
Your party's agenda.
Bro got 2 telescopes in one lens.
What was Trump's job approval in the CBS poll?
I think it was about 50%, but it was. I've seen polls where it's 54,
No,
55.
I think it was under that. I think it was under that.
I don't think so.
You know,
But if you look at it and then you break it down by issue.
Ipsos poll is 40. Look, it's not going to do any good for us to sit here and argue because your viewers can believe you, and they can go to Real Clear Politics, and they can actually see it. It's not like this is some...
Somebody says that Hannity thinks he's interviewing Golem. That's fucked up. It's funny as hell, but it's fucked up.
Hidden information that people in Washington are passing around each other.
Trump's approval ratings are in the high 30s, maybe low 40s.
A month into his presidency than any president in United States history. That's the fact. I can be fact-checked. They can do whatever they want.
That's fine. We can go back and forth. You wrote a New York Times op-ed, 3 reasons I am certain that Kamala Harris...
This century, under Democratic presidents, 50 million jobs have been created and 1 million jobs under Republicans. I think most Democrats that I know want to create jobs, create...
50 to 1?
50 to 1. Oh, this is the best part coming up here.
Opportunity for people and create opportunity for young people.
Wait, that says accomplishments.
Yeah.
What? All right, let me Google accomplishment. See, maybe they have an alternate definition.
Anybody that's sitting there worrying about who plays in the high school track meet, I really don't.
Well,
oh my God.
Okay, well, maybe you're not listening to the same Democrats I am. That's fine. All right, now on the side of our screen, I am scrolling all of the waste, fraud, and abuse, and this is money that is not
terminated 18 Department of Agriculture contracts for gender-based consulting projects, saving taxpayers $9 million. Sorry, ladies, get your ass in the kitchen and get the fuck off the farm. Get your ass off that farm. We don't want you growing nothing.
Spent on this country. They've identified tens and tens and tens of billions of dollars, and this is being spent.
Tens and tens. What a fucking weird thing to say.
And on the radical Green New Deal, DEI, wokeism, transgenderism, LGBTQ+. Except with the exception of John Fetterman.
20 million on a Sesame Street show in Iraq. Yeah, that's fine by me because, you know, we leveled the fucking place. So, yeah, let them have some fucking Sesame Street.
I don't hear Democrats saying...
Oh, 56 million to boost tourism in Tunisia and Egypt. You know who else had a stake in Egypt? Fucking Adams. The fucking mayor of New York had at least a couple of million reasons to be really friendly to Egypt and let them put up their consulate without or let them build a building without having the fire chief go through there. He told the fire chief, "You're not going to do your regular shit. You're just going to push this through, okay?" And he's like, "Well, I don't want to lose my job." He's like, "You're going to do it or you're going to lose your job." Yeah, that kind of shit. The Adams thing, maybe I'll do a deep dive on that. It is deep. Like, homeboy is crooked, which is why he's letting the ICE run through Rikers and do everything else to the poor citizens in New York.
You know what? We ought not be spending the American people.
40 million to build schools in Jordan. I wonder who blew those schools up, Israel.
Yeah.
Those money this way. What say you?
I see you got USAID up there. Spend $41 billion. They've spent $41 billion. The federal budget is...
$2 million to strengthen trans-led organizations to deliver gender-affirming care. You know what else is gender-affirming care? Hair plugs.
Yeah.
And jaw reconstruction.
testosterone. Sound familiar, Elon?
It's 6 trillion. I did the math, Sean. It actually comes to something like 0.014%. So take the 41 billion, put it
Yep, poll, you're right, facelifts, yep.
against the 6 trillion, and see what you've done.
Oh, that was Turkey. Who was it? Oh, was it Menendez? I think Menendez was Egypt. Yeah, you're right. Turkey was Adams. Menendez was you know, New York.
Is responsible for more federal debt than any president in the history of the United States.
$32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. Can I get that comic book? That shit sounds lit.
So I'll spot you to 41 billion. Now we 5,998 million or whatever you got. Okay, I did the math on USAID. You got it right up there.
Okay, USAID
$41 billion
is
out of 6 trillion.
But James, you
41 billion out of 6 trillion is right there, dude. You're just right. You just round up.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with these big ass numbers is people just take the B for the M and they just don't really get the scale of how much money they're trying to cut.
Like I said before, like these are all fucking. They might as well be imaginary numbers to most people.
Right.
Like they might as well be,
X and
it might as well
Y.
be fucking Monopoly money, yeah. and it is all just line items on a budget. But when you look at the federal budget as a whole, there's non-discretionary spending and there's discretionary spending. Half of all the spending is non-discretionary. It's debt payment, it's Social Security, it's Medicare. That stuff you cannot change without massive legislature. The other half, $3 trillion approximately, is all the other nonsense that they're talking about. So even if you take half the federal budget, $3 trillion, and you say $40 billion, that's still 1%.
But math is hard.
You're smarter than this.
I'm looking at the screen
because I'm listening really closely to you, and USAID is 1%.
Oh my God, Tim, they're bragging about 0.014% because you know, 6 is 6 unless it's actually 3. You know, some people lie about shit. Some people like to make small numbers seem like they're bigger numbers. I'm not that kind of guy, but some people do these things.
Percent.
A certain kind of person does these things.
Of what they're finding. And they're finding it in every department of government. And they're finding all this DEI money. I got a whole packet of waste, fraud, and abuse.
Somebody said they came up with 8.
Go ahead.
I'm far against waste, fraud, and abuse. I saw 8 billion that they come up with now, but show us the number. I mean,
they have been.
Stand up. You're in control of the Congress. You're in control of the Senate. You're in control of the courts. You're in control of the presidency. Do it, dude. Go to it.
Okay.
Hack away.
Right now we live under Biden and Harris's economy.
In the world.
And that is the perfect point because if you have all the levers of power, what the fuck is Elon doing?
Yeah.
You could just, as Congress, get rid of that shit. And no one could say anything to you. But as soon as you have to go in front of the people that you represent, you want to fucking be an empty church where they booing the stage without nobody on it. Because fuck it. I mean, if you have the political levers in your hand, why is Elon full of government contracts, by the way? He couldn't fit another one in his wallet. He is just stuffed to the brim. He couldn't fit another fucking taxpayer dollar in there. Why do all this fucking underhanded shit without any transparency, any oversight, or any mechanism to stop it?
Mikey, you see, while his pockets are full of government money, he also has a rather full dance card of federal investigations.
Not no more.
Into him and his companies. I think there was, 35 different investigations by about 10 different organizations. Like, the dude was being investigated by all these places, and now he's taking them apart so they don't investigate him anymore.
Well, Tim, they were part of the deep state. Those people who said, hey, Stop blowing shit up over the top of people. It is dangerous, and you kill the birds. And you will have to pay, and now I know this is a lot of money, $600,000 for your little blow-up thingy. He's worth $400 billion, and you are going to bankrupt, or you're going to disassemble the FAA because you had to pay a fine? Yeah. When you literally have unlimited money, you have the infinite money glitch. They'll let you open the beer. Last one, Tim, and then I'm going to cut you loose. Okay. We're going to start some drama, y'all. Are y'all up for some drama? Or we're going to get some, where is it? We're going to get a little catty. We've made slight mention of TYT. You know, we've made passing comments about TYT. But I don't like it when some of our political bays...
They're calling her Rhino Taylor Greene.
Oh, girl, baby girl. Oh.
You may not touch them. And we let people do whatever they want to fucking do on their network. It's your network. If you want to run it into the ground, go for it. It's not my ship to steer. But when you lie, well, guess what? Now you're like the Republicans and everybody else that we get to cover for being lying sacks of shit. So here's Anna Kasparian, responding to Sam Cedar and Emma Vigeland.
Emma Vigeland and Sam Cedar of the Majority Report thought it would be fun to put out a more than 18-minute long video chastising.
This video is 16 minutes and 57 seconds for clarity.
And mocking me for my willingness to admit that I was wrong, in part for downplaying the possibility.
And she also put the apology behind a paywall.
Of Donald Trump implementing Project 2025 upon winning the election.
People have admitted that they made a mistake.
All right, back on TYT, checking out with you guys. More news.
So I just want to address something.
It's so buck wild that she didn't even just play her own footage. So we got double chyrons going and double watermarks going. Come on now.
I was wrong about Project 2025. MAGA hates Project 2025, and I thought that Donald Trump actually cared about his base because in his first term, he seemed to be swayed by his base. He seemed to listen to his base.
Wait a second. Wait. MAGA hates Project 2025?
Where's the evidence of that?
What? What is this MAGA that they speak of?
You know what? Sam is totally right. It is he who understands the MAGA base better than anyone else. I mean, the guy goes out of his way to engage in dialogue with Trump voters. He seeks to understand where they're...
Oh, yeah. That's Sam Cedar.
She's going after Sam Cedar.
Uncle Sam.
All right, man.
Hey, she wants to... She's official. This isn't behind a paywall. This came out yesterday, I think. She is, or 2 days ago, she is going for Uncle Sam. So let's... okay, here we go.
Hearts and minds are at. Here he is touting his openness to understanding people who vote differently than he does.
We can't take the power back without talking to Trump voters and making them realize their mistake. Well, wait.
So let's pander to them first.
Pick your battles. It doesn't have anything to do with talking to Trump voters. Yeah. Or not.
Or flattering false
You've just decided to make some weird connection there. Yeah. We can't take the power back without talking to Trump voters and making them realize their mistake. Actually, no, we can't. There's millions and millions of other people who need to be motivated to get into the fight.
Is that I am coming from the Polymarket Studios?
Insulting them in
Polymarket Studios. Oh, that's the gambling site that TYT has this huge contract with, and they're the ones funding them. You can't even gamble on that website in this country.
That's funny.
You're not allowed to, but...
Lumping them all together as the worst among them doesn't help either. I don't know when we have done that with all 78 million people, but I got news for you. The percentage of those who voted for Mitt Romney, they can suck my... I don't care about any of that. I don't care about any of that.
Astute analysis, there you have it. Sam Cedar, noted expert on Trump
the GOAT.
Voters who he won't talk to and has no interest in understanding. Got it. But it's worth asking why Trump would repeatedly deny supporting Project 2025 on the campaign trail. Was it to appeal to libs like Sam Cedar?
'Cause he's a liar, just like you.
Or maybe it's because he knew his base doesn't support large swaths of the policy agenda laid out in the project's 900-page document. So to say that Trump is implementing Project 2025 isn't even fully accurate because, well...
I wish I would have pulled this. I forgot she said that. I think they're at, I think there was like 89 different things, 89 different like executive orders that he was supposed to put out to like complete the He's at like 54 out of 89. Like word for word the same ones. Like he's almost done with the first, like they're already out of like phase 1 and 2. Like
I can tell you how many he's got right now.
How many?
72.
There you go.
There's a lot that he doesn't agree with that's in that document and said that he won't actually pursue. After getting elected, he said these things. For example, Project 2025 wants to eliminate every single tax bracket and replace it with just 2 brackets, 15% for anyone making under $168,000 annually, and 30% for those.
Oh God, her reading is so contrived and awful. I can't even take it at full, at regular speed. Let's go ahead and
earning more than that. If this is the first time you're hearing about it, it's because Trump hasn't mentioned it and isn't likely to pursue it. And are we going to pretend like Trump read a 900-page document? Really?
Are you going to pretend like you read it?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Project 2025 doesn't want there to be tax brackets at all. It wants a flat tax, a sales tax,
a consumption
VAT
tax
on everyone. Yeah, like a 20 to 30% consumption tax, and get rid of the IRS.
Well, he's not doing that, Tim. He's not getting rid of the IRS.
He wants to create the Department of External Revenue so he can collect all those tariffs that he's going to get.
He thinks he's going to get.
He thinks he's going to get.
He does, however, plan to extend his 2017 tax cuts for individual filers. Trump also wants to lower the corporate tax rate from 21% to 15%, which I've spoken out against repeatedly. Project 20...
We do not care.
2025 also proposes cuts to Medicaid. What does Trump have to say about that?
Social Security won't be touched. Other than this fraud or something, we're going to find it's going to be strengthened. But
Whoa! What? Wait! What? What did he say? Did he say the magic word? Do we all have to drink? I think he just said.
Medicaid. What does Trump have to say about that?
Social Security won't be touched. Other
than
this fraud or something, we're going to find it's going to be strengthened, but won't be touched. Medicare, Medicaid, none of that stuff is going to be touched. Nothing. You don't have to. Now, if there are illegal migrants in the system, we're going to get them out of the system.
Illegal migrants in the system.
They're just gumming up the works.
System and all of that fraud, but it's not going to be touched.
I mean, well, look, touching Medicare or Medicaid, super unpopular, and maybe Trump is just saying that publicly while behind closed doors he's telling Republicans who are currently working on a budget that they should totally slash Medicaid, right?
Here's the funny part. It's not Trump telling people things. It's other people telling Trump.
But
her entire hypothesis for this is that Trump is the one who's saying these things and is doing these things. It's Elon Musk. It's that Vought guy who we put in charge of the budget.
Yep.
And all the other architects of Project 2025 are telling Trump, hey, we're going to do this. If you want to like say that you're not a part of it, that's fine. But we're still going to fucking do it anyway.
And they are.
Like,
well, it turns out
her entire assumption is wrong.
Yes.
No, wrong. That's not what's happening. Trump had previously weighed in privately against cutting too heavily into Medicaid.
But no. You said he wasn't gonna touch it.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is cutting too heavily? Like, it's on the fucking screen, Anna. I don't know what you want me to do. Like, I was gonna leave you be. But it's on the fucking screen, dog.
telling House Republicans at a closed-door meeting earlier this month that he wants to be very careful with Medicaid. His public remarks on Hannity represented a broader and more forceful assertion of that red line.
And if you guys aren't familiar, Anna has left the left, or rather, the left left her. She's now undeclared.
They all say that. They all say that when they're like, oh,
Come on, lady.
I don't believe the things the left believes anymore. They left me.
No, you just fucking sold out, bro.
Nonetheless,
You know who else
Trump's
said,
agenda.
You know who else said those fucking things? Fucking Joe Manchin.
Oh yeah, right.
Or Tulsi Gabbard. She said the same thing. Oh, the
Yep.
left left me. Oh, I wonder
And
why.
Project 20
Maybe it's because you're a fucking conservative.
Because you're in the wrong party. And from what I understand, she got like mugged or like beat up or something like that and robbed. So since that day, no, fuck everybody. Nope, conservative time. Fuck that shit. Nope, not going. Fuck everybody. Get the illegals out of here. Get all these motherfucking, build the wall, fucking build a moat, build fucking lasers on top of the moat with alligators and sharks with lasers on their head. All their asses got to go. Ever since something impacted her life. Hey, the rest of us broke people, we get beat the fuck up and robbed all the fucking time. It's called being broke. We don't like it either.
2025 do have a great deal of overlap, especially in regard to the dismantling of the administrative state, which his base actually does like. But how could anyone be in favor of scaling back on government agencies that are full to the brim with unelected career bureaucrats who get to create, judge, and enforce their own policies and rules? How could this be?
A scathing review of the CDC, finding the agency repeatedly botched its pandemic response and failed.
She's not a right winger though, y'all. She's over here bringing up COVID.
Oh wait, she was serious? I thought that was sarcasm. She's serious about this?
Yeah. It's hard to get a read on her because she's such a turncoat.
Okay, I just want to say that the government is run by people who are hired to do jobs.
No, not
and,
that.
And ever since, when did Chevron deference disappear? Was it 2024?
Yeah.
Ever since the Supreme Court said Chevron deference doesn't exist anymore, which is what she's talking about, and administration's ability to make their own policies and act on them. The government has had its legs cut out from under it because now these agencies can't act. So I don't know, when they say the unelected bureaucrats are just doing whatever the fuck they want, I don't know what they mean. What are you talking about, guys? You literally had the Supreme Court say, no, you can't do anything anymore except what it says, the letter of the law. So, what the fuck are they talking about?
Christy in the chat says, could the rest of the world build a 20-foot high wall around the entire U.S.? Just asking. Hey, man, let me get out first.
Yeah, right?
Come on, man, let me sneak out first.
If you're gonna build a kaiju wall, just let me get out first.
The moment of crisis. The CDC long under fire for its guidance on masking and vaccines over the last 2 years.
This is really confusing. There are more than 10,000 chemicals and additives.
Now she's on to the dyes and additives in food.
Oh my god.
allowed in food in the U.S.
I get it. Our food is shit. We understand. Like, I went over to Europe. I went over to Ireland, and their food is just way better. They have so much less shit in their food. Then fucking legislate. This goes back to what we were saying before, or James Carville was saying.
Yeah.
Just fucking legislate it.
You got the levers, bro. Right,
You
put it
own
up.
the whole government. Just do it.
Just
Instead of
do it. Make your dreams come true.
Instead of taking apart the CDC and the FDA, give them new rules.
Right.
That's the entire point of government.
Get some more agents.
If you take them apart and you say, oh, we don't need the FDA or the CDC anymore, well, good luck with the bird flu. Good luck with, mad cow disease or whatever. Like, stuff happens that government agencies need to be able to help with. And getting rid of those agencies just makes everything worse for everyone else.
No, she doesn't care.
Often in small amounts, but many have not been evaluated by the FDA in decades.
But there's not going to be an FDA now. That's the point.
You keep defunding the FDA, and then they can't do things, and you're like, oh, I don't know why they're not able to do this.
Look at all this shit in the food.
The majority are safe, but some chemicals allowed here have been banned overseas after research has linked them to cancer and developmental or behavioral issues.
Is the food industry basically policing itself?
I would say yes. 45% of the FDA's overall budget now comes from the companies it's reviewing, and 65% of the FDA's budget specifically for human drug regulation comes directly from Big Pharma itself.
Wait. Did that say nearly half of agents' budget now from user fees paid by companies seeking approval for?
Yeah.
So so just let them do it for free. Okay, I got you. Fair, cool.
I mean,
let them just spam you with a whole bunch of bullshit. Cool.
They had to do this because you refused to properly fund them.
Specifically for human drug regulation comes directly from Big Pharma itself. The historic.
And they put the chyron over it, but it says today close to 45% of the budget comes from the user fees that companies pay when they apply for
drug regulation.
Yeah.
Comes directly from Big Pharma itself. The historic $2 billion
I know you didn't put my girl up there in your little smear campaign.
payout by the U.S. Department of Agriculture to black farmers and other farmers of color who experience discrimination when applying to the USDA's farm loan programs.
The lender, who was a federal employee, who was employed by a government, spat on me. I was called the N-word from this same official.
So I do a lot of work surrounding environmental justice issues here locally as far as activism goes. And I've done
Tons of us FDA reform. KFC is one of the four major food groups.
I'm research fellow at the local EPA. The admin at the time when I was a research fellow were primarily comprised of people who were affiliated or directly coming from the Department of Defense. And they put in a lot of restrictions as to like what the researchers get to, which PFAS compound the researchers get to study.
Right.
Is the EPA turning a blind eye to these dangerous forever chemicals, and why?
Unfortunately, the EPA is not turning off the tap of these chemicals from the polluters who knew they were poisoning their workers in the 60s and their neighbors in the 70s and ultimately all of us. And they're continuing to allow these polluters to send their PFAS wastes not only
I'm playing this all for a reason.
Only into our rivers, but to our wastewater treatment plants where then they are then sold to farmers who unknowingly contaminate their fields.
Whoopsies. Now, if you want...
What a thing to smile smugly about.
Yeah, right?
Whoopsies. Wow, what a responsible journalist.
Yeah.
Grow up, girl.
Watch Beavis and Butthead on the Vanguard YouTube channel, which...
Shout out to Silly and Billy. Whoop, whoop.
The Majority Report hilariously treats as some authoritative source. You'd think that TYT is totally in favor of the Trump administration gutting federal agencies. Except
well, you want to have a beer with the people who want to gut
Yeah.
the whole fucking government.
we're not.
Yeah, you want
Two
to have a
things
chat.
Yeah.
can be true at the same time.
I hate
These
that fucking
agencies
phrase.
have been deeply corrupted, do engage in waste, and should be reformed. But treating the federal workforce as if they're Twitter employees is a disastrous way to handle it, as we've been learning in recent weeks.
You just learned that?
We all knew that from the start.
But let's hear what Emma has to say about my on-air correction.
It is not the prediction. People make predictions all the time.
So what they're talking about is again, it was the apology was behind the paywall. She's like, oh, well, apparently, like, Trump does know what 2025 is. Project 2025 is. This is what they're referring to.
Right, I was wrong in my prediction about the election,
This
but
is not making
yeah,
like
right,
some type of
right.
like, poly market bet here. on
Yes,
this.
yeah.
Where the
That's
outcome
gambling
we
mindset.
can't tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was abundance amount of evidence of this. And even if your opinion, not prediction, opinion was, I can't see them doing this. This is pretty radical. The idea that you would mock people for believing it and saying it was a conspiracy theory. The people had Trump derangement syndrome. I'm sorry. Give me a break.
Apologies, I forget that Sam usually doesn't let Emma get a word in edgewise, but I'll address what she said in that video in a...
Your fucking co-host is Cenk Uygur.
Yeah, it's not like they're Joe and Mika over there.
You know what I mean? Like glass houses and leopards' faces, all that shit.
Second, but before I do, did I, Sam? Did I mock voters who were
Yeah.
worried about Project 2025? Because I don't remember doing that.
Yeah.
What I do recall is chastising Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party for offering nothing to voters other than incessant fear-mongering about Trump.
Which is been all proved to be accurate.
Right.
Because he's doing exactly what they warned about. Right?
They were correct. And even and to counterpoint her point, they backed off on a lot of that stuff because they were told by pollsters that it was going badly for them. And you remember when the Harris campaign was calling Republicans weird?
The good old days.
The good old days. They stopped that because some fucking idiot told them that, oh guys, it's not going to look good for us in the polls. They should have pedaled to the metal that stuff. They should have fucking
unleashed the walls.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Instead they backed off on it. So they backed off on a lot of it, and they backed off on the fascism talk too. Like they stopped the quote fear mongering, so that they could capitulate to conservatives.
Donald Trump's not fighting for you or your family. He never.
I also remember criticizing members of the media who simply regurgitated anything the Democratic Party claimed. I also found it fascinating that as the whole of the Democratic Party was engaging in said fear-mongering, they were also playing part in a massive cover-up about Biden's mental decline.
What cover-up?
Well, we all knew.
We all saw the fucking debate, dude. What are you talking about? Everybody saw the debate and was like, what the fuck? What the fuck, dude? What are we gonna do? We all said, what are we gonna do? This dude is cooked. What are we gonna do?
Well, while I understand where she's coming from about like they were trying to cover it up, yeah, they were trying to cover it up. The dude was like turning off in the middle of a debate.
He powered down for just save battery.
and I did a whole comedy bit about this. Like, yes, both parties wanted to say that their campaigns were like special, young, vibrant boys.
Right.
And they're just not. They're just two old fucking guys. So of course they want to do that. That's what spin is.
I mean, just think about it. Democracy is under threat. We, the Democrats, insist.
It is, dude. Do you not think it is?
That this corpse stay in the race to give us the best chance of beating Trump and saving democracy.
You can slather jelly on that corpse. I'd still vote for that corpse over fucking Trump.
Weekend at Bernie's ass.
Get your corpse ass the fuck up there and sign that.
Since Emma
We need some health care out here.
brought it up,
All you gotta do is keep the aviators on.
They'll never know.
The fact
How are they gonna know?
that inaccurate predictions are totally okay, but only when she's wrong. In the lead up to the presidential race, Emma declared that her final electoral college prediction is that Harris sweeps all 7 swing states and ekes out a victory in Iowa.
That's what the polling showed.
My only reservation is that I don't want to jinx the results, but I'm trying to avoid the trappings of magical thinking. Well, Emma, the magical thinking is what led you to think that Harris would sweep all battleground states. Not that you cited superstitious jinxing. And of course, Trump, not Harris, went on to win all swing states and the popular vote.
So there, Emma.
Yeah, there. You were wrong.
You got it wrong, and I was also wrong about something, so we are the same now.
What? How did Deadpool put it? She made an educated wish.
Deadpool for president. Oh, fuck, he's Canadian. Damn it.
The average of polls clearly showed Harris trailing Trump. She ran a horrific campaign.
It was a 50-50, actually.
Stood for nothing, was unpopular with anyone who was paying attention, and wasn't even nominated through a democratic process. She was anointed. How's that for saving democracy?
So if Joe Biden had a heart attack on stage, I wonder who would come up next. Maybe the vice president. I wonder who the vice president was. Let me Google that. Who's the vice president under Joe Biden?
You know what's crazy is that I, in theory, agree with about half of what she's saying. Like we said the same things. Like Kamala Harris wasn't in a primary; she just got chosen. And like, but she's not saying this to help the Democratic Party. She's saying this as an attack against
Emma
and Sam Cedar. Like, we all know, we get it.
We were there.
We understand.
We actually do our jobs.
Like, why are you taking it out on them?
But you worked very hard to launder her reputation and sell her to Americans. So much so that I thought maybe, just maybe, all those Kamala Harris ads that interrupted your YouTube videos.
Two things here. Three things here. Number one, she accused the Majority Report. I don't know if someone call it slander or libel. I don't know. That's up for other people. Defamation. That's up for other people to decide. People with law degrees. People who have passed the bar. She accused them of taking money from the DNC. And everyone was like, what? We have like 2 sponsors and you guys already know who they are. Like we don't know what she's talking about. She thinks, here's 2. She thinks because an ad comes up during someone's show that you, the YouTuber, have gone out and sought out that person because you want their money and you want them to be on your show. How have you been on YouTube this long and you don't know how Google AdSense works?
Right.
Number 3, you don't have YouTube Premium? You out here watching ads? You out here with the biggest home of progressives station ever, and you out here watching ads? You got the Poly Market Studio and you gotta wait 5 seconds and then hit skip? So during that, when you were hate watching Emma, when you were hate watching her, and then an ad popped up, I was like, oh, look at who's paying for this. Look at who's paying for this. You gotta try harder, boo-boo. And you need to spend the $9.99 on premium.
We're possibly clouding your judgment. But you say you were delusional all on your own. And you know what? I'll take your word for it. But since we're on the topic of issuing corrections, one of your viewers is curious about something that you've said and whether you're gonna correct it.
Here comes a very authoritative source.
One of your viewers wants to know that since I admit
a random ass YouTube comment with no date on it, and you don't know what video it's from.
I was wrong. Can Majority Report admit they were wrong, saying there wasn't a Venezuelan gang that took over an apartment complex in Colorado, even though residents were coming out and saying that was going on for months?
Whoa, 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 whoa. What's the name of that Venezuelan gang? Treinta de Agua?
Something like that.
Marcus Treinta Costa, 6569. Huh. She got a gang member in the comment section.
I haven't heard a peep from the Majority Report. Well, you know what? That's actually a great question. Majority Report seemed to direct their audience to harass me for months.
Oh, if they had, we would have let you up, baby girl. We left y'all alone.
For accurately reporting that story.
Tons of my says.
Don't read it out loud. Don't read it out loud. Don't read it out loud.
Don't read that one out loud.
Yeah, don't read that one out loud. I'm gonna laugh at it, but don't read it out loud. I don't want them to sue us.
Oh, I see. Okay, then I have another Tons of Mike's quote that is also funny. I'd vote for a broken toaster before I'd vote for Trump.
Broken toasters are scary.
When that story was updated to include a horrific incident in which Treinta Aragua gang members literally kidnapped and tortured a couple that lived in that Aurora, Colorado apartment complex, Majority Report couldn't be bothered with it at all.
A Colorado apartment.
Now this is where the journalism gets its worst. It's worst.
And complex plagued by suspected Venezuelan gang activity in the spotlight again after a brutal kidnapping.
They were pistol whipped, they were beat, they were victimized, they were terrorized.
Police say on Monday night, more than a dozen people approached a man and a woman, forcing them into an empty apartment where they were held against their will, and the man was stabbed. The 2 victims were released by the assailants after they promised not to call police, authorities say. Police say 19 people were initially detained in connection to the attack.
Okay.
Tonight, 16 are in Immigration and Customs Enforcement custody.
Okay.
According to an ICE spokesperson who says they are all
According to an ICE spokesperson, they've never lied. Go on.
Venezuelan nationals in the country without authorization.
Prior to that, the Aurora Police Department had already arrested 10 Tren de Aragua gang members from.
So if they're already arrested, then how did they just do that, Anna?
Right.
The same building. Wow, take a look at that. That's a lot of mugshots for a Venezuelan gang that definitely does not exist and definitely were not victimizing other migrants in addition to low-income Americans in that same apartment complex. That totally didn't happen. Oh, but by the way, that's not all. Earlier this month, ABC News had this headline, quote, ICE carries out raid in Colorado, 100 members of Venezuelan gang targeted for arrests. Alleged members of Tren de Aragua were arrested at an Aurora apartment complex.
Alleged.
Wow, that's really bad.
ICE calls everybody a Venezuelan gang member because they're racist and they're ICE. And they lie. They have quotas and they lie. Since when do we trust the numbers of fucking ICE, bro?
I don't know. That's rough.
The big old thumb that they hired to be in charge of fucking the borders are, he's the truth teller now? He's your source?
So I'm just really curious.
About how to be a fucking journalist? Me too.
Curious. Is ABC News funded by Polymarket and that's why they're reporting these news stories? Are they making it up?
I mean, if you're going to say it out loud, then I don't have to.
I mean, it's just how many gang members do you need to take over a single...
Regios in the chat says arrested at an apartment complex also doesn't mean they were running the place either. See, right. There's a lot of there's nothing in that nothing burger.
Apartment complex. But look, that's not all. Does Emma have the integrity to admit that she was wrong to gaslight everyone about Los Angeles Mayor Karen?
It literally says gaslighter right next to your face. Just saying that.
Bass's austerity measures, namely her decision to cut the budget for a fire department that had already been chronically short-staffed and underfunded. She put this up on Twitter. Lots of people are spreading this $17 million fire budget cut story, and it's just not accurate.
Yeah, they were saying that the fire spread because of the fire budget being cut.
Right.
That's what she's talking about.
She then included a comical thread to bolster her claim. The thread made no sense. And it was clear that Emma didn't even bother to read the thread that she herself quote tweeted. She was even called out by other lefties like Sam Sachs, who correctly stated that Emma was sharing an incoherent thread she couldn't have possibly read. And then when told the actual facts, doubles down and accuses everyone of lying to help the right. She still hasn't deleted the post that was retweeted 5,000 times.
I think I'm on that list.
I checked today, it's still up. And therein lies the heart of the issue with Majority Report. Anyone who has a thought or belief that deviates even slightly from their doctrine is just a right-winger. And right-wingers could never make any legitimate points, right? We must all worship.
There it is.
Wow. Well, I mean, if that's not admitting what you are, then
I don't know what is.
The all sanctimonious Majority Report and their ideological dogma at all costs, even when there's evidence proving them wrong. Although I can't decide if people like Emma are.
Even if you have to make up the evidence yourself by half-reading articles, grabbing headlines, and assuming that ICE is telling the truth. Why don't you look up how many people were actually detained by ICE, or who are actually part of a gang in ICE in Tren de Agua? Just look it up.
Yeah.
Are really this cultish with their politics, or if they're just terrified by their own audience.
DSA Josh, I live on the west side of LA. All the criticism that conservatives are directing towards Mayor Karen Bass is 100% motivated by white nationalism and violent misogyny. They're fascists, full stop.
So he reads someone's comment, and she reads him reading someone's comment without his reaction to the comment.
Yeah, there's no. She's cutting out. Boy, that's infuriating. She's removing context
On purpose.
on purpose.
This is her channel. She's in charge here. She has the levers here. She's the Republican with the levers. And she deliberately chose not to put Sam's response on that. Why? Why?
It's disingenuous.
At best. Slanderous at worst.
Hey, DSA Josh, you're unhinged. And guess what? I'm elated that you watch Majority Report. They deserve you. As for TYT, we're going to correct the record when we get something wrong. And I'm positive it will happen again in the future. Because we're human.
Yeah, just like your boyfriend Elon Musk. Look, guys, I'm not going to be 100% right all the time.
I think that she needs to issue a correction for this correction.
Maybe I'll go dig up the Sam Cedar the rest of the clip and make a short out of it.
Guess what? Humans make mistakes. Emma is also susceptible to making mistakes. And that would be totally fine if she showed a modicum of humility and corrected herself.
Can you believe the projection? Whew.
Instead, she plays the...
So who is Kendrick and who is Drake in this situation?
Oh, she is draking real hard right now. Real hard right now.
role of hall monitor. She polices what one can say, what they should believe, who they can talk to, and what they can talk about. It sure is ironic for someone who claims to loathe cops so much. But that's the role she and others like her play in the left wing, and everyone's sick of it.
You're not on the left wing, so what the fuck do you care what we do? What do you care what we do? You left. We left you. You didn't leave us. Then fucking go, dude. Then fucking go. Just go. Just go.
Just leave. Just leave. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Just get out.
Just go.
Just go on fucking OAN.
They won't pay her. That's what it is.
Go join fucking Matt Gaetz' show.
Yeah.
And just fuck off.
Just go. And because you're jealous of Hassan Piker, because you're jealous of Emma Vigeland, who left TYT for greener pastures, and you're stuck there with screaming ass Jank every afternoon, that's your decision. You could have went solo a long time ago, and you would have found out the hard reality that no one takes you seriously.
Yeah.
No one takes you seriously. And that's not anyone's fault but yours. You don't stand for anything. You stood for things until your life got difficult, and you're sick of being broke compared to the rest of your little rich friends out there. Sorry, you're broke. Welcome to the Broke Club. All aboard the struggle bus. Headed downtown. Headed uptown. It's not everyone else's fault that your career didn't go the way that you wanted it to. You can't be mad at everybody for that. You can't keep holding these grudges against other networks because they called you out when you were wrong. And then you say they need to have some humility. Look at you.
Yeah, seriously.
Like cutting out Sam reads a thing and you don't even put his response on there? And they're the bad guys?
Be a little self-aware.
Well, speaking of self-aware, we're very self-aware, and we love y'all. Y'all are our favorites.
Am I really informing you? No, I'm not. I'm misleading you.
We care about our audience, and we will never lie to you guys. Because we don't have time to make up lies. It's just faster if we're honest.
It's too much work, to be honest, to lie.
Keep track of all of them.
Yeah, you have to have a notebook then, and
We can't afford a notebook in this economy.
But if you like and subscribe and watch just all of our videos, I looked the other day. There's 420 videos on our channel.
Oh yeah.
Go and watch them all.
2 times today. At 600% speed.
You don't even have to actually watch them. Just let YouTube play for a while on one of our playlists.
Here's what you do. Go to the Apple Store. And they have all the iPhones sitting there.
go to the YouTube app and go to the BIM Podcast Network and just find a playlist and just play it with the volume real low in the background. Just let it rock.
There you go. Because we are well past 500 subscribers now. We're like 511.
They love us. They really love us.
They love us, and we just need everyone to watch, and then we can get that sweet YouTube money.
And then maybe Kamala Harris can put ads on our thing, and Anna Kasparian can blame us, can say that DNC controls the talking points on the show. Like, that is so buck wild and not how YouTube works. Like, there's times where you'll get like a fucking a mattress, can openers, Republicans, churches, anybody can buy ads and put them on Google AdSense. You don't get to pick. And they target ads, for like political shows and stuff like that.
And if you want to send it, I don't care who you are. If you want to send me money, send the channel some money for whatever you want us to sponsor. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Unlike the Majority Report, we are fucking chills. You want to give us $2,000? We will fucking get all the red hats you want. We will fucking shit on Democrats. We will do anything for fucking cash. Cash, baby. I really want to do those AG1 ads.
Well, I don't know if AG1 would tolerate it. Unless I started like bleeping everything, I don't know if they would stomach us. We are filthy.
We are. But
we'll clean it up once the money comes. We'll have to clean it up. But yeah, we will. Until then, fuck. We can't get in trouble. If you do have a couple dollars to spare, patreon.com/the BIM Podcast. This is important. I keep meaning to say this every time I read the blurb. We do have a free tier on our Patreon. So if for whatever reason Kash Patel and his goons come after our YouTube channel or whatever, we can still talk to you guys and still post stuff on our thing for free. Patreon.com/the BIM Podcast. And if you do have a couple of bucks every once in a while, I think the highest tier is only like $10 or something, like maybe $20. Yeah. You don't have to go up that high. $1 is cool. If everybody throws in $1, we'll be good. Help us pay for all this stuff that we're doing.
And we were having conversations about adding stuff to the channel and doing more content. Yeah. And maybe we'll throw some of that on the Patreon.
We're having a band meeting on Thursday. To talk about the next steps.
Just till we control the whole world.
Oh wait, I have a clip for that. But until we control the whole world, we're gonna have to say goodbye. So thanks so much for hanging out with us. We love you. We really do. And we'll see you later.
Bye.
Hey, where's the music?
I don't hear it.
I want the music. Hold on.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's turn this off.
We got him.
Regios, you're a goat.